Ladies and gentlemen, we are live, coming to you from the internet. Introducing first, with a professional record of a 5-star rating and the future winners of the Fight Pick Championship, Ricky Reed, Buddy Harlow, the MMA Marks Podcast. What's up, everybody? How you doing? This is MMA Marks here. It's Ricky Reed, Buddy Harlow, two guys that love to mark out on all things MMA, and we love that shit. This week we got a great fucking show coming on for you. We're gonna recap UFC 243 in Melbourne, Australia, where Israel Adesanya took on Robert Whittaker and whipped his ass. Then we go on to Fight Night 161 in Tampa, Florida, where Joanna Jacek takes on Michelle Karate Hottie Watterson. And then we're going to recap what we have going on in our world, which is the Fight Pick Championship, who is the champ is here. And right now we're going to get into one of the Fight Pick Championship's contestants, our cousin, the Backlog Time. He has his own podcast, the Backlog Exposed or Backlog Time. Is that true?
It's still just the Backlog Podcast. My online presence.
We have Kevin Lane in the house, y'all. And as always, Buddy's here too. What's up, Bud?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to say that we are the first to have the breaking news of the Backlog name change. It's no longer, it was Backlog Exposed at one point. It was Backlog Pod. Now we got Backlog Live Backlog Time. Like Khabib Time.
Khabib Time.
So when you guys think of, when you guys trying to remember how to get in contact with Backlog, you just think of Khabib Time because it's Backlog Time.
That's right.
Right. And you know, where it comes from is I'm not famous enough yet to just have Backlog, right? We were talking about that pre-show. But you have to have something, right? And the Backlog Pod, I had too many people just trying to figure that out. It's so weird online when, you're trying to broadcast or you jump into someone's chat room and they're saying, "Hey, what's up, John? What's up? Blah, blah, blah." And every one of them, "What's up, Blacklog?" Every time.
Yeah.
So I have about 30 clips, right? The funniest thing, last night I changed my name. I'm like, Backlog Time. Shout out to Cutscene Cutie who she helped me with that one because I was trying to come up with all these different names. And
she's on Twitch if you're wondering.
Yeah, she's out there. She's cool as hell. And so anyways, long story short, first chat room I went into today, Backlog Time. "Hey, welcome to the show." I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well,
so I guess it's just backlog is dyslexia, it enhances that dyslexia, man. But appreciate you guys having me here, man.
Oh, absolutely, man. Anytime you're welcome.
Well, I mean, we get a little people not knowing our names, especially if they don't know MMA. They're like my Marks, which I don't mind.
Mama Marks.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you, as far as everything goes, we got Backlog Time, but we also have the Backlog Network. And
that's right.
And you know what?
I
feel like MMA Marks, we are like train conductors for this fucking train that's about to fucking really pick up a lot of speed.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
it is. You guys are really rolling. I love what you've done already because this for me this is a slow roll on the getting the Backlog Network up. It's something we started before Leaky Squad, and you guys were the first to join up. First to my cousins, right? First people I reached out to about it. And it's something. I mean, this is really a long-term thing in my mind. This is a forever thing. The network is going to start here. It's going to end when I die and continue on after. But for me, anyways, you know what I mean? Like, in that regards. So I'm not worried about the speed. We're doing really well with Leaky Squad. A lot of things still moving with that, and we got a great team over there. But at the same time, that's where Backlog Time comes from, right? What time is it, right? Is it everybody else's time or is it my time? I got to start thinking about me and my presence here with what I'm doing, right? I put a lot of things aside. My podcast, if you go back and look, I was doing 2 a week. Now I'm doing 2 a month. And so I got to get back to Backlog. I got to get back to the network that I started, that you guys are starting. And I got to get back to my channel, my Twitch channel, because even that, I went from 125 subscribers to 19 in a month because I'm just not there. And I don't want people to subscribe if I'm not going to be there. But I need to build a presence, and I need to make sure that the presence I have is worthwhile to the people's $5. You know what I mean? And that's how I look at it.
Yeah, and we're all three blood cousins, in case anybody listening didn't know, and we all like to push each other and try to make each other better. And as far as that goes, is he helped me get my Twitch together, and now, certain times when I'm like, I don't know if I just jump on, but then I hear Kevin's jumping on, I'm like, I gotta jump on. I ain't gonna let Kevin just be the only one doing the Twitch thing, and now Ricky's on it too, and we all have a good time on Twitch.
So I gotta say, Ricky, I gotta say real quick, you do a really good job getting the affiliate real quick. Sorry about the dog in the background. I'll shut her up in a second. But get into affiliate real quick, and I just haven't been able to jump on and subscribe to you yet since you've been affiliate. But I watch your broadcasts, and you got a natural gift too. So I just gotta say, buddy, when Buddy jumped in there, I was like, damn, he's gonna be good at this. And then you're in there and you're just talking. I love the flow. A lot of people don't get that communication with the audience is so critical. People just jump on when they're playing on Twitch, playing their games, because this is the funniest thing, and not to dominate this thing right here, but guys, you guys got it. I think I got it. I might not have the looks, but I got the mindset. When you talk to somebody who has no clue about Twitch, they say, why would you just want to watch somebody play games? Well, yeah, that's what a lot of people do. They jump on Twitch and then they just play games. Ooh, ooh. They're not looking at chat. They're playing their game every 5 minutes. Oh, hey, thanks. No one wants to watch that. That's why those channels don't get a lot of views. But when you start interacting, people feel, they need to jump in. They need to do something and say hi. And you both have that. People are wanting to come back. And I'm going to go shut my dog up. So give me just 1 second.
All right. So we're going to talk real quick about you while you go take care of that.
So, I'm still listening.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Bad. So we're going to have the Backlog Exposed, or we're going to say Backlog Time, right?
Yeah.
And the podcast is just called Backlog, correct?
Backlog Podcast.
The Backlog Podcast. And he has a Twitch account. What's that Twitch account?
It's Backlog Time now.
Backlog Time is the Twitch. Okay. So pretty much if you search Backlog Time, Backlog Podcast, you're going to find my man Kevin. And he has all the gaming news that you ever need to know. Gaming about VR, PlayStation, Twitch, all the new games coming out, E3, all that shit is in his wheelhouse. But the reason why he's in our Fight Pick Championship is not only because he's family, but he's the casual in.
See, I can't wait. Oh, can't wait to do that.
So we got this man over here.
But it's not casual in the negative term that's used in MMA Twitter.
No.
So Rick, would you say Cal Ripken is a casual ball player?
A casual ball player? No, I say he's a retired ball player.
Exactly. I've been with the UFC since UFC 1. Okay. And I was a die-hard up until I'd say the last 5 years have been a little bit slow rolling for me with UFC. I will give you that I'm casual to the definition that you guys define.
Right.
But it hurts a little bit to hear. But there's a reason for it.
But my point is that we have all facets across this championship. We have the top tier level, myself and Buddy. And we start.
But if you look at the rankings, if you look at the rankings, after the first week, it's pretty obvious, right? That I'm just playing it slow, letting you guys. You're both a little younger than me, just letting you both get ahead. Because I got the history. It's all back there somewhere. I just got to go dig for it. I got to get my head out of my ass, and I got to kick some ass because I suck, man. I suck.
Yeah, but hold on. But to add to what he was saying, and the point I think he was trying to make was it's like, think of mixed martial arts and how it all started, how UFC 1 was made. It was to see who has the best style of fighting It's mixed martial arts. It wasn't everybody blending. So it's like kind of like how we're doing on this competition. It's just we got the MMA podcasters, we got the Twitch streamers, we got the
gaming podcast,
the gaming podcast who also likes to casually watch. You know, it's just like different types of fans.
Yeah, and even with the MMA podcasters, we got the more opinionated podcasters like myself and Buddy. We got Fighting with Myself, who's taking a community solo kind of vibe to it, and we got Lesbo and the Bean, who is Lab B, who is absolutely research oriented, and they are on point with all that.
They're all about
shit.
the betting line, and they're really good. And I think that they're the favorites to win this because they really do their research.
And we're gonna have links to all their podcasts, all their Twitch streams in the description below, and all that. So just look down there,
Kevin.
for
I'm
everything.
rooting for you.
So
I'm rooting for Backlog.
I'm gonna try a little bit harder this next one, but I gotta say, so on the term of casual, one of the things that, and this gets me a lot, because when I say I was a diehard. I watched every UFC event.
Do you own a fiction shirt?
I did. I have tap out socks still to this day.
Hell yes.
Socks. Oh my
He's
God.
an old school fan, guys.
Yes, he is.
I was a fan back when tap out was the shit. Like people were like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, he's got a fucking tap out shirt like that. I went to events.
Mask and skyscrape and punk ass.
Don't fuck with
around.
Kevin. He got the tap out shirt. He'll tap your ass out.
I mean, I remember going to. I remember when BJ Penn was good. You know, I've been around for
a long time ago.
He ain't been good for about 20 fights.
decades. But no, so the casual fan thing. Okay, I want to touch on this real quick. Get your thoughts, because it's crazy to me right now. I love where MMA is at because the skill level is so high, right? And you can have betting lines as opposed to guessing lines, and the betting lines are true because these guys and girls are just the skill level keeps growing. But at one point, the UFC went from there's a couple things that really jarred me, but it used to be very accessible. It used to be very, very accessible without having to shell out extra things or go to individual places. It was just like it was on, Spike TV or whatever. And I got away from cable.
Golden age.
Yeah, the golden age. And I got away from cable overall. And it was still easy to find. It was still very easy to go to the Hooters or the Buffalo Wild Wings or whatever. And it was always on.
Yeah.
And all of that started to slow down. I mean, Dana White and the team, rightfully so, but they started getting on bars that were broadcasting illegally, heavily. Like they had a huge enforcement of going into bars and finding those bars. A lot of them, if they only had it on 3 TVs or a license for 3 TVs and they had it on 8, those bars were getting basically shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like going after the people on the internet posting the GIFs and whatever. And again, I get it. But it was like, I stayed in touch with everything. And then all of a sudden it was like, no, you have to fucking pay $60 3 times a month because we have events every weekend, and you have to buy ESPN Plus, and you have to do this. And I could steal it all if I want to. I just don't have the patience and the time, and I'd rather just have it accessible. And so I would still watch it as religiously as I always did if it was more accessible. But I don't like ESPN. I'm not going to go pay for it. And so that alone cuts it all off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, to your point, I see what you're saying, but there is a method to the madness. Now, I'm not in the production meetings. I'm not in their meetings at all. I have no affiliation with the UFC, but my understanding is it's just like kind of like a crack dealer. So like you take whatever and you flood the market with it. Flood it, get a nice big want for it, a need for it, then you slowly take it away. That builds the need. Then you see what that product is worth. You put a price tag on it that's way too fucking high and see who pays for it. Then you take that price tag and then it levels it out with the market. Okay, we need people to come back. So then that's what they're doing with this. But along the way with television, it works a little bit different because it's all in the future. And what Dana White sees and what the UFC sees is Disney is on point. It's a $1 billion company.
It ain't going nowhere.
It ain't going nowhere, and it's guaranteed money. So if we can get guaranteed money, that's where we're gonna go.
But I'll tell you what, when the Fertitas had it, the UFC was a different brand, and I preferred that brand over the current brand in a lot of ways because it was a lot more heart. But I'm a double-edged sword here with the words because at the same time I'd say stuff like, back in the day these guys used to fight injured, right? Because they were afraid of fucking getting cut, they were afraid of every little thing, and now how many with all the weight cut issues and
Yeah, but
testing for steroids. Now these guys they're not fighting through those injuries.
You gotta make the sport legitimate, dude.
hold on, let me cut you off there real quick.
It's a double-edged sword.
But you're right. For a while there, we had a bullshit era. But I officially already dubbed it this era. It's the attitude era of fucking UFC right now. I'm telling you, it's getting worse. Like not worse and worse. It's getting better and better. If you love the attitude era of pro wrestling, you're gonna love the era that we're in UFC. It's slowly but surely turning into that.
Yeah,
so
no,
it ain't that you shot a bullshit era. We're over that era.
Yeah, that's exactly the point. That era is, and it feels like it's over. I do agree with you there, bud.
Yeah. So, we have a couple questions for you to help our viewers out and to help everybody listening out. Just know who you are and where they can find you and whatnot. So, Buddy has a couple questions that he wanted to ask.
We already kind of authentically just went through a few of them.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a couple other ones.
Yeah. So, as far as who are your current favorite fighters? Like give me your top 3 or something.
Come on, casual.
I gotta preface this because I don't want Ricky to slap me through the screen, but my favorite fighters have to do with people I enjoy watching. It doesn't matter what I think of them as a human being, and I will always tune into a John Jones fight. I will always tune in. I love John Jones fighting. I watch it. He's fucking amazing. Even when you think he's supposed to suck, he's awe-inspiring to watch. And Israel Adesanya is very similar in that style. I really love
better.
When I played Tekken, what was his name? The guy doing the spinny shit.
Eddie Gordo.
Eddie Gordo. I mean that's who I was. And when you first see like John Jones fighting for the first time, you're thinking, oh my God, you're seeing shit you never seen before. And now people are throwing that stuff out all the time. But honestly, I will watch that John Jones fight anytime he does. And then again, Israel Adesanya is one of my newer. Love it. I love seeing the determination. And when you guys talked about his whole when you talked about his whole attitude of almost like he's playing a video game of himself, like stepping behind. That's Adesanya, right? You were talking about him.
Cerrone, but yeah,
same. They both have the same. They both said that similar things.
Yes.
I thought you were saying about Adesanya. Maybe it was when they. Or I don't know, but anyways, yeah, it was
definitely about Cowboy when I talked about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Adesanya has a style that he's like a movie fighter. Like he pulls shit out that you're not supposed to hit. You're not supposed to.
Talking about it behind the scenes, right?
Right. You're not supposed to
I'm gonna come in with the 1-2. You're gonna duck, and I'm gonna swing around. It seems planned, but it's just it's not. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And he's living in the moment, not fucking over. Like how some people when they do a podcast, they get in that zone where they can't shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Because they get too nervous.
Right.
And
no, not at all. Not at all. No, I'm saying like when I first started, sometimes the adrenaline would hit me and I would just be like literally not in the moment. I would just be like spewing shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like just like with fighters, sometimes they're just doing all reactions because they're not thinking while they're doing it because they're not in that moment.
Yeah, just spamming the C button.
Right.
Yeah.
And for my third, it's really tough to like. I don't know. You have a couple that just are must sees. And I'm just kind of looking through. I would have to say, that's not current. He's not a current fighter.
Who cares? You always give him an honorable mention.
Oh my God! Yeah, give an honorable mention to DC Ragdoll.
Michael Bisping, right? Is that who you're talking about? Bisping?
Yeah, the one-eyed fighter. I can't believe he did all that with one eye. How long did he have one eye for? Does anybody know?
It was after Vitor hit him.
Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure Dan Henderson killed him.
Dan Henderson hit him pretty.
He turned into a cyborg.
Yeah.
I would say out of my I really really like seeing Nagano fight. I wish he didn't lose that one fight just for the sake of the fact that he's a monster. But he's one of those guys. It's just like Tyson. You have to watch it, and you never know what's coming, but you expect it.
He's begging for a fight right now. He was on an interview I was listening to today, Unfiltered, and he was saying that he don't care. He pretty much don't care who it is. He wants a title, but he's saying he wants to fight like December, dude. Like he's like, I need a fight.
Is he looking for the winner of Kane and Brock, or?
No, he said that was so funny. He says it just was. He did see it and he thought it was funny as hell.
Yeah.
Hey, these guys got to go somewhere after they're done with the real fights. You know what I mean? I don't blame them.
Also, did you know that Nagano's in the new Fast and Furious?
Oh, jeez. Is he a good guy or a bad guy?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's a bad guy because he's probably one of those guys that don't have many lines.
Can't see him talking too much.
Just knock people out, man.
Yeah.
Another, I got to throw some honorable mentions out there. Dan Henderson. That's right.
Thank you, Kevin.
Practically begged for it.
This year I think the rise of Masvidal, the monster, and I love watching a Diaz fight. I don't care if it's Nick or Nate.
Right.
Not that they're like the best in the world, but if Nick said he's fighting this weekend, I'm tuning in, no doubt. So
yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I like the action. I like the styles. I really do. What's the other one? The bad guy. The bad guy. These Cub. No, not Cub.
You mean Henry Cejudo?
No. I don't like it.
Bad guy, Colby.
Colby. I like watching Colby.
Covington. Fuck yeah.
How did I feel like that was the bad guy?
That's his gimmick right now. But I love watching Colby fight too. Anyone who's a gamer, going all the way back. I mean, I'd watch any Fedor fight. Any God, people hated watching GSP, but the guy brought the fight.
I love watching GSP. People shit on him for no reason.
No, there's a reason people shit on him.
No, I don't want to get into it. We can do a whole podcast on that.
All podcast on that.
All right, so that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Here's another random question though, just because I figured to move it along. What do you like? What do you like better, podcasting or streaming on Twitch?
For the longest time, I felt like podcasting. But if I had my partner, I'd say podcasting still. But doing it solo just isn't my thing. So I really like the Twitch stream because of the interaction, and Twitch streaming to nobody's no fun for me. So I'll get frustrated if it's like nobody in chat, no one talking. So it's a kind of double-edged sword there too, man. It's like I don't put enough time into the streaming to get every time I log in to have 5-10 people pop in. But when you're there, Rick, like all it takes is one, right? I don't care if it's 1 or 10 or 50. I love that interaction. Same with if Joe's there with me doing the podcast.
So if they're both popping off, they're both doing great. Which one would you, if you had to pick one?
I would say streaming for the sheer fact that it's there's no post processing. I do a lot of work.
Instant gratification.
Yeah, it's instant and the time, the worth and the time. But see, okay, one other thing, you guys tell I don't shut up. So on a podcast, it's therapy. So when I'm podcasting, sometimes my episodes go 2 hours and I just don't shut up the whole time, and I feel good afterwards.
Yeah,
got it all off my chest. So
yeah,
I don't hate it.
For me, I definitely would rather podcasting. I think podcasting is way more fun. I like doing Twitch thing, but to me, it's like, well, for one, I can talk to somebody that actually knows what the fuck they're talking about with UFC and stuff.
Yep.
Or at least somebody, you know what I mean. With this,
he's only got 1 week of victories. You've been kicking his ass for the last 6 months.
But what I'm trying to say is,
you can kiss my ass
with
to both
Twitch,
of y'all. The champ is here. You can kiss my ass.
With Twitch is cool, but I mean, I like directly talking to somebody.
Yeah.
Other than just reading off and stuff like that.
Well, it's crazy because it's such a different thing, but they're both very similar. That's when I started talking to you guys and and the Play PSVR guys, which they never really materialized in it. That embracing either one, right? The streaming or the podcasting, or even writing on fucking blogs, right? Any of it can be part of the network. And so I for a period of time I was really having fun writing reviews. I wrote like 4 or 5 of them. I was like, oh, this is fun. But then, work gave me an assignment where I had to do a bunch of writing, and it's like, I don't want to do that shit no more. I
Right.
love the ability to be able to do either or both. The one key thing, and you guys have done a hell of a job on it, is consistency. That's where I have not. And because of my lifestyle of, staying up way too late and, not setting boundaries on things like, you know, like specific, I'm going to do this at this time. I don't ever do that. It's costed me. It cost me my viewers. It's costed me my listeners.
Well, you got to
it's-
just keep somebody accountable for you. That's where me and him come across, because he gets in
Yeah.
my ass and I get in his ass sometimes. Like, you got notes and he gets
Yep.
in my ass. Is the podcast coming out? Is it edited? Is the video coming
Oh,
out?
why
Come
you
on,
gotta
come
snort
on,
when you're
come on,
trying to be
come
like
on.
me?
I'm just more interested in who gets in the other one's ass more, because
Definitely Ricky getting in my ass. Don't let him try to say that, because when it gets down to it, like if I'm about to get in his ass, I literally will just hit the vape a few times, and then if I'm still upset about it, I'll say something. Usually I don't give a fuck after a hit or two.
If he doesn't sound like his father, I don't know what does.
yeah, I'll tell you. So, Bud, did you want to? I mean, this is such a loose and early rendition, but did you want to get into the stuff we were talking about on the side at all?
Were you talking about the new show?
Yeah, because so Rick, one of the things that I want to do with
Oh,
my
you mean
channel,
the new show that you two got that excluded
don't
me?
you worry, I got it. Did not, because no, I got me and you got something going too. I need your help on another thing.
Okay. I
Hey,
feel the
hey.
love. I know I'm second fiddle.
Look,
It's okay.
Look,
I
Yours
know
is-
where the real talent is. The real talent's right there. I know.
look. No matter what you say, I'm like Ricky says. Okay, I'll get in your ass, man. You can't get distracted with Ricky. You got too much shit going on already. If we have a show together, fuck Ricky. He's out.
All right. So what's
it's
this
gonna
new show that you got?
So it's gonna be two. I'm gonna work on 2 main.
Two
Show.
men cooks.
Let's do. So the first one is gonna be. I mean, this is still a loose concept. We have some time. We were gonna rush it, but we decided not to rush it. And really, what I want to do is put some product on Twitch that's rewatchable. I think the key is rewatchable content, or something that someone can go back to and go, "Oh, we missed it. Let's go check it out." Right? Because if I have a 4-hour video game stream, unlikely people are going to go back and rewatch that shit, right? But if it's a 1-hour thing that only happens once a week at a specific time, well, then you can go back and rewatch that shit, and I can do reruns and actually get viewers on a rerun. And so, my idea: how do you captivate the audience? How do you keep them involved? How do you keep them there from beginning to end, or make them want to go? Game shows, man. Game shows are the shit. People love game shows. But also, I love talking, and Buddy loves talking. So what about a talk show game show, right?
Okay.
And again, still a loose concept, but the idea I think would go well. That could be fucking nuts or bomb. Is
You got to take a chance.
every week we have a random topic, and I don't know how we'll pick that random topic, but it will be random. We won't know what the fuck the topic is,
Uh-huh.
and we got bullshit about it. Okay, but during the show, the whole point is to just talk straight out the gate, not going, "Oh fuck, what is this?" Just boom. "Oh, did you hear about the blah blah blah?" Just be on it, right?
What?
And then pull through the course of the hour or half hour, however long it is. We pull people from the audience. I got a new tool that's going to make it easy. So they become the third person on the show, and they got to fucking bullshit with us, okay? And then we say, "Okay, your time's up. Thank you." And then we bring on another person and just wait. We'll see. We'll pick the winner at the end. The winner will be the one that we had the best fucking conversation about nothing with. Okay, the topics, like I said, will be random. They'll be, we can make shit up, or we can really get into it. I mean, what if it's like UFOs? Boom, we could talk about fucking UFOs, and the winner will be at the end the person that we pick. It's really going to be a favoritism game. We get to fucking make the rules. We get to bend, and we get to change them right during the middle of the show.
Hey, Ricky keeps giving me this look. I need to know what it's about.
You don't like it. He's like,
what's this look, Rick?
All right. Well, I keep looking at Buddy because I'm thinking I'm hearing the concept and I like it. I like the fact that it's a game show, but then I hear this random topics and everything, and I'm looking at him and I'm like, okay, the king of bullshit over here.
Oh, that's why.
Can make up everything on the fly. I mean, you could talk like anything with this man over here, and he will have something to say about it.
And see, that's why this is perfect for Bud.
Yeah, because when you're saying the randomness, I'm like, that's where I excel on the fly.
Yeah, I mean, like knitting, right? Like if the topic is knitting, we could have a good 30-40 minute conversation about it. I mean, we'll come up with a process. Might not just be one word. It might be a series of whatever. We'll figure something out. Maybe the people can submit them from the audience and it's random. We'll figure that out. But honestly, at the end of the day, it's just going to be a fun, hopefully entertaining and funny show where people can win prizes. It'll start off real low, $10 gift card, shit like that. But if we get, if we start getting people subscribing and tipping and all that, well, fuck, that'll go right into it, make it better and bigger prizes for people. So, that's
like a good shit, man.
That's a hoping concept. But now I'll tell you a little bit about the other one.
Okay.
What you know about this one? And I don't know if you're up for it because this isn't going to be an easy job, Rick. But
well, of course, it's going to be hard.
I need someone who can control the flow. Who knows their wrestling a little bit.
Ooh.
I know. I haven't been watching either, but listen, hear me out. Jimmy Thompson, the Alpha, with host Rick. You host, and we are the color, and we do a weekly show with Jimmy Thompson and the Alpha, where you keep the narrative going, and you keep us on track from killing each other. And we talk wrestling, we wrestling, we catch people up with the shit that's going down. And the best part is, I know you're saying to yourself, I don't have time to watch wrestling. I don't, I'm not into it as much as I used to be, blah, blah, blah. Neither are we. So it's going to be bullshit too. We're going to have fun.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is the Alpha, the one-eyed monster, the pink shirt wearing, electrifying man on Twitch, going to go up against the corn-fed motherfucker, Jimmy T. And the man, the champ is here, is going to be in the middle. That's what I hear. That's what I hear. And we're going to talk wrestling. That's what I hear.
I can't tell what he's doing.
Is that what I hear?
You tell me you don't like that. You tell me you don't like it.
I like that. I like that. I will even make it a point to watch Raw, even though I don't like the XFL, and even though I don't really care for SmackDown on Friday nights right now. I don't give a fuck. But The Rock came back, Brock came back, and Kane whipped his motherfucking ass. I can do that. I can keep you guys on track if you need it. All right. We'll see. We'll talk more after this. But I'm telling you, I think I can do it. Because I'm going to whip your ass in the Fight Pick Championship, and I'm going to whip Alpha's ass in the Fight Pick Championship. Like I told him yesterday, he couldn't beat me if it was Dana White. He could not beat me if he was Dana White himself. I told him that straight up, and he can go to hell with his pink shirt. Now, to get on this right now, since you brought it back full circle, I want to get into what happened last week at UFC 243 and this Fight Pick Championship. That's what I want to get into.
Bullshit happened. Tell you bullshit.
Well, you want me to run?
So let's run this shit down, and we'll run down the prelims real quick, and then we'll get into this main card that everybody sucked at except for me.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Oh man. Oh, true. All right. So
still got it, Rick. You still got it. You're Rick. Right.
All right. So what we're gonna do is UFC 243 happened in Melbourne, Australia. It was a record-setting crowd. Now, I don't know if they were fudging the numbers or whatnot, but it was almost 60,000 people in that stadium, which was unheard of. So what we got is the first up in the prelims. We have Khaled Taha versus Bruno Silva. Okay. Now what we got was a submission in round 3 by Taha. Do you remember this fight, buddy? Do you remember this fight, Kevin?
No, I didn't watch
Yeah,
it.
Taha was whooping his ass the whole damn time.
Yeah, he pretty much dominated his ass from start to finish.
Now this guy's 14-2 on the undercard. Where's this guy coming from?
Hold up, what are you talking about?
Taha.
Oh, well, I mean,
Taha's 14-2 now with the victory he got over Bruno Silva. But
13-2. I'm just wondering, like, so these pro fighters, that's part of my concern, not concern, but the casualness, right? Like, that seems like a pretty good record. Does the 14-2, does that fucking matter to you guys? If you're putting them up against an 8-4 who's on the main card, you know what I mean? Like,
100% does.
no.
Okay.
Not always. It's who he fought and how he won. I get into the whole. I go back and look at the records and see, like, you know, what fashion, how early does he finish, if he finishes, and if I see any names that I recognize, or even if you don't know any names, start clicking and looking at their opponents' records.
You can't
beat.
teach experience. You can't. You cannot teach experience.
But sometimes 40 fights is not going to give you as much experience as 10 fights, based on if the skill was high with your opponent.
Right. I agree. I agree with that. So that brings us to the next fight, where we got a 5-1 Nadia Kasim versus an 8-2 Ji Young Kim. Now, we all know Nadia Kasim because she's been in UFC longer than Kim has. Now, Kim comes in with an 8-2 record, but we didn't know much. And like me and Buddy say, and we've said this along, you don't really bet on the Asian because, you know, they don't do so well. But that has been changing as we move on this year. I think 2019 has proven that the Asians can hold their own.
Yeah, well, I think it's they have a slower start when it comes to mixed martial arts because so many of them want to stick to a traditional.
Right. It's hard to mix those styles together in some cases. But this girl Kim, she has a straight right hand that is on point.
The fight sucked.
The fights no, look, the fight sucked only because Nadia Kasim didn't put up a fight. Didn't put up a fight at all.
But neither one had any urgency about the way they fought.
That sucked about that.
So fuck that fight. She got finished with a stomach punch. She sucks, and so does her opponent.
I feel like that's changing a bit though. Like, and that's part of the whole USADA era. People weren't pushing the envelope; they were staying back. But we're seeing a lot more finishes. I don't know if it's just my mind, but it seems like we're seeing a lot more finishes now than we were a year ago. But when these boring fights are fewer and further between, I guess is my point.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you see it a little bit now with the up and comers and some with the on the cusp guys. Right? Yeah, on the cusp guys they want to play it safe and they want to win, so you see it with them. But now moving on, Megan Anderson versus Zara Fernan.
She was a French woman, so whatever.
So
that's all we knew. This is her first fight in the UFC. Yeah. She came from France, and no one really knew anything about her.
Right. This was if you looked at her from a high level and knew the two competitors, this was a come home fight for Megan Anderson. They're trying to build up that 145 women's division, and since they can't build it up against Cyborg no more, and I believe that Amanda Nunes is on her way out. They need somebody else to build it up against.
Well, yeah, and just to give a little, I said that, you know, nobody really cared about her, which nobody did. But when the bell first started, dude, she went out there and started punching fucking Megan in the face perfectly.
She was whipping her ass.
So she brought it to her. She was trying to say, fuck that. I know I'm here to lose, but I ain't having it. Then that's what caused her to make a dumb fucking move and get subbed first round.
Yeah. So, all right, moving on. So, this is, I understand that Israel Adesanya and Robert Whittaker is probably the marquee fight of this card, and it's the one everybody's going to be talking about. But for me, technically, and the grit of this next fight was my favorite fight of the whole night.
Not me.
Brad Riddell versus Jamie Mullarkey. These two fought all the way from bell to bell and whipped each other's ass to the point that they were on the knees fighting to the last bell. I mean, when the third round bell rang, this dude was still on his knees punching the other guy. Brad Riddle really took it to Jamie Mullarkey.
It was very one-sided. Brad Riddell, he fucking kept clipping the shit out of fucking Mullarkey. Somehow Mullarkey was able to he's got a fucking jaw on him. So that's kind of how the match went. He just survived.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my God, he's about to knock him out. Oh my God, the whole match. So, I mean, if anything, like him taking that many shots to the face, I'm surprised they didn't stop it just then. But I guess because he didn't get wobbled enough. But he was punching the fuck out of him. Probably would have put out a lot of other people.
Hell yeah. I'm looking forward to more fights like that. Just the back and forth and the war of attrition. That's what I'm looking at.
Oh yeah.
All right, moving on. The next one is Callum Potter versus Maki Pitaloa, and we were way off on that one.
Yeah, coconut bombs look like shit.
Coconut Bombs has to be the worst fucking nickname.
I'm
I've
sick of y'all
ever
taking
heard of.
a shit on his nickname. I like it.
Coconut Bombs, really?
Kevin, is Coconut Bombs that bad of a name? Shit. I don't hear him.
We lost you.
No, it was me. Sorry. I was trying
there
to,
we go. Turn it up.
A little bit. Hold on. We got to get it to where it's that noise again.
Keep talking.
How we doing? Test.
What
1,
up?
2, 1, 2.
There we go. Oh, hold on 1 second, guys.
Go ahead.
Sorry about that.
There
Oh,
we
yeah,
go.
We're back.
Test. 1, 2. All right, good.
Perfect.
Yeah, Coconut Bombs, man, is it's a memorable name. I mean, is he who
is a rainbow?
Wow, he's from Hawaii. Coconuts.
That's what I was saying,
That's
yeah.
the rainbow.
Oh. They have a rainbow in Hawaii?
Yeah.
I thought you were making a gay joke.
No. You insensitive prick.
I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I shouldn't be talking about gays. Ricky's gay. He just touched me under the table.
I can't believe you called out Bifrost Rabbit.
Hold up.
I can't believe you did that. I was laughing so fucking hard.
That's what I thought it meant. I thought it meant like a bi person who likes the cold and likes rabbits. I don't know. I guess I'm simple.
I was fucking crying. I was crying at my desk.
Was I saying that or was I typing that? I don't remember when it happened. But
She came into your chat and you were just like, what does that mean? I knew you were thinking it. And then you just were like, is that you're like bi, like gay? Or, you just like rabbits? What? That's from fucking
what
Hercules
does
or whatever.
Bifrost mean again? Doesn't it have a meaning?
The
It's from,
Bifrost is from Thor. It's the rainbow bridge that goes from world to world. That's all it is.
So what the fuck does that mean about Bifrost Rabbit? I don't even get that, man.
She's hopping along the Bifrost.
Yeah. Look, I was thinking, like they got them shitty fucking like Halloween costumes. Might as well talk about them because it's October. But like the sexy nurse, the Bifrost Rabbit. It's like bi and your frozen rabbit.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
That's
whatever.
So
she got
She's
a good
gonna
plug.
change her name if she
Nah,
hears
I mean,
this.
hey, anybody listening, check out Bifrost Rabbit on Twitch. Might as well give her a fucking full initial plug.
But yeah, no, I was thinking it. I was laughing so hard, dude, when you pulled that out.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, so Coconut Bombs got his ass whipped. Decision, Potter. It was kind of a snooze fest. And to be honest, the next fight was a snooze fest too. I didn't care for this fight. It was by far the worst fight on the card.
So hold up, Jake Matthews came out to Triple H's entrance music.
Uh-huh.
I didn't even notice. I
didn't
could barely
notice.
hear the audio of their entrance music this time.
Yeah. So Jake Matthews comes out and he's taking on Hastam Achman and
I think it's Rostam.
I don't know. The Brazilians got me all fucked
He's not
up with
Brazil.
my RM.
He's I think Polish or something like that. Maybe Russian.
Well,
He's the guy with the fucking sweatshirt. His hair is fucking terrible. His body hair.
oh, that's the Wolfman. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that dude's hairy.
Yeah, but Jake Matthews got a decision win. It wasn't that exciting of a fight.
Yeah. So moving on to the main card. Now we got our first fight of the main card. Justin Tafa taking on Jorgen De Castro.
This is one of the better knockouts of the year.
What a fucking right hand.
It
Oh,
was like he got clipped with a fucking baseball bat. He just went down. It was like he got deleted right out of his head.
Did you see Tafa's face when he hit the canvas?
I mean, just face plant.
Oh my god, no, dude. His shoulder hit, and then his head was turned toward the camera, and his whole face was like, you know, when the Joker in the first Batman sprayed the laughing gas on everybody, and they died with a smile on their face. That's what he looked like. He got hit so hard it made a smile on his face.
So I did some research on this one because I like watching me some Mark Hunt proteges, you know.
Oh yeah.
And Tafa looked like a monster, man. I picked Tafa because I mean, they both looked like beasts, but Tafa had some knockouts very similar in his career like that. I mean, just Mark Hunt style punch, and before he's even following through, he's looking away because he knows it's over.
Oh yeah.
And so I just felt like he had it. He had the skill to in some of the fights that I watched comparatively, but the other guy, man, he just laid waste. I mean, that was a thud. That was a sick punch.
Yeah, because he only had 3 fights, I went back and like watched a few clips of him, of Tafa, and that honestly made me want to choose the other guy. To me, I wasn't too impressed. He's not so for being a smaller heavyweight, because he is, he's not a very skilled smaller heavyweight. If you're smaller, you got to be very skilled. Look at DC. Look at Mark Hunt. You know, these guys are like fucking like knockout artist or a awesome wrestler, good boxer like DC. Tafa, I wasn't too impressed with him. I think he's just used to being a tougher guy.
Yeah, and not to show my hand too much, but what made me choose Jorgen was the fact of the competition level. So Tafa is from Australia, and there's not too much MMA out there. I mean, granted, they love their MMA out there because they're showing up 60,000 strong, but Jorgen's from New England, and if anything about New England, I mean, you know, you're being a stupid fucking Patriots fan.
They know how to pick quarterbacks is what you're trying to say. Someone who can throw it with the right hand.
Right. Well, I mean, Massachusetts, they fight up there, and they fight a lot.
They do.
And so my thing was, De Castro, he has a lot harder competition. So if he's 5-0 in New England, he's gonna whip up a 3-0 in Australia.
Plus, he's got nasty ass leg kicks.
Yeah, then leg kicks were fucking
He didn't
vicious.
get to use them, did he?
No.
I think he caught him with one, didn't he? He caught him one a little bit before the
one.
combination.
Yeah, he set up one.
But I mean, it didn't come into play that much because of early knockout.
Right.
Let's
all right. So moving on, we got Luke Jumo versus Diego Lima. Now, what was your take on this fight, Kevin? I want to know that.
I don't know, man. I ain't on the Lima train at all.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're with Buddy on this?
I don't know. He's not exciting to me.
But Lima, I feel like, so in this matchup, I feel like Lima was always a step ahead.
Yes.
He was doing a lot better.
Yeah, yeah. Just
Agree with that
kind of
100%.
expected that. This is where experience comes in with me, because Diego Lima has been in the UFC a lot longer than Jumo. And again, Jumo's coming from New Zealand. He's looking more not as hard competition. Diego Lima's used to that upper echelon of level of competition. That's why I chose Diego Lima, and he didn't fail me. It's exactly like I saw it, which was wonderful.
Yeah. Now,
Now,
oh, go ahead.
sorry, go ahead, bud.
I was going to move on. So if you have anything else to add to that, go ahead.
Well, I just want to say a little bit about Lima. Is he's got a bunch of decisions, a couple decisions under his belt here. He's playing it safe, but he also reminds me just slightly. This isn't a full reminder, but slightly of like the same attitude as a Frankie Edgar, like when he loses, fucking chip on his shoulder type thing. And I could be completely way off, but his attitude on the Ultimate Fighter was a little bit, I don't know, just kind of. It's like I wanted him on Ultimate Fighter. I wanted him to win and all that. I was behind him, and then he just kind of was just pissy. I don't know. Just stop being so pissy and fucking fight.
Right.
Yeah.
You know you can.
Right.
Now here was the big shocker for all of us.
Oh my fucking god.
Nobody expected Tai Tuivasa to get fucking murked the way he did. He just sucked.
Now this is coming off the back of Buddy telling me to my face that if he's seen Tai Tuivasa in a bar,
Oh, I still would. He's a cool dude. He just sucked that night.
he would let Tai Tuivasa knock me the fuck out and do a shoey with this man where he drinks from my shoe, alcohol from my shoe, while he pisses on my knocked out body. What kind of shit is that?
He would let Ty knock you out.
Right. He would let Ty knock me out. And him and Ty would share a drink out of my shoe.
No. We would each take a shoe, and then cross arms and drink them together as we're pissing, crossing streams into Ricky's face.
Now, what kind of mother? Now, I have vouched for this dude at the bar many times. One UFC fighter, and he wants to knock me the fuck out and then piss on me while he drinks from my shoe. You ignorant motherfucker.
He asked me. He was asking me about would I ever do a shoey, and if Tai Tuivasa offered me a shoey, especially in those circumstances, it's happening.
What a dick.
Especially in those circumstances, like especially if he was like, the only way I'm doing it is if I knock your friend out, fucking cold,
Right.
and then we cross streams pissing on him. That's the only way I'm doing it with you, buddy.
What a dick.
Well, buddy, I'd lock arms with you as well in that moment, but only because it already happened.
Dude, Kevin.
Only because it already happened, Rick. If it were the other way around, you and I would lock arms with Ty, and we'd piss on buddy.
God. But anyway, getting back to this fight, I want to ask the question. We all seen the fight. We've seen how it went down. Sergey Spivak, really, he didn't have an answer for the striking, but what he did was he prevailed, and he took him down, and then he got on top of him, and he choked him out with an arm triangle. Now, the question I want to pose to both of you is, did Tai Tuivasa quit and give him the choke, or did he try to go out like a tough guy and go to sleep to save some of his ego? Because if I had to answer that question, I would say he quit.
Yeah, honestly, so it didn't even look like he was actually choked out, but he could have been. Like, it looked like when the ref checked his arm, he kind of just let it go back down because he knew he couldn't beat the guy. Because he immediately was awake.
I mean, you both been choked out, right?
I
Hell
have
no.
many times.
I ain't let nobody choke me out.
It is fun as shit.
I mean, yeah, like I used to do it on purpose to myself when I was a kid. You just, it's fucking weird, but
Oh, that's the
don't
thumb.
do that don't do that at home, kids. You'd kill some brain cells. But it's you get like lucid dreams you feel like you've been sleeping for 2 hours, and it's instant. You come back instant when you're being choked out, and you come back. As long as it's not knocked out, if you're just being choked, the second your brain gets the oxygen, you're up. What the fuck is going on? So I can see that he lost consciousness and that he was out. But I also think that when you know there ain't no fucking out, then you're out. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point of keeping going if there's literally, you know what I mean? So I think it goes a little bit both ways. If he did not lose consciousness, which no one will ever know, right? Did he give up, or was he just unable to continue? I think he was choked the fuck out for at least a second, and that's all it takes.
The reason
he's a big dude, man. He ain't fucking, that guy's not giving up like a
this is my thing. This is why I say he gave up, is because when you look at it, and Spitbox on top of him, okay, Spitbox on top of him, and he's setting up the arm triangle, okay. Instead of Spitbox jumping to the opposite side and choking him out with the leverage, Ty scoots out towards the wrong side. I don't know if it was a brain fart or if he did it intentionally, but it looked like he gave up. Like, I'm in this arm position, the arm triangle position. I don't know how to defend it. He didn't even try. He straightened his arm out, which you really never do. You don't want to straighten your arm out in that position. You want to curl into it and turn into your opponent. You don't want to turn away from your opponent because that's giving him more leverage. So what he did was he straightened his arm out and turned away from his opponent, speeding up the choke. That's why I say he fucking quit.
Yeah, I mean, maybe his heart's not in the UFC anymore. He definitely had a bad taste in his mouth about how Mark Hunt went out. So I'm sure that he's, riding that, that's his boy. He's going to say, fuck UFC. I'll just keep going and barely performing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on to the co-main event of the evening, we got Al Iaquinta taking on Dan Hangman Hooker. Now, for me, this was by far the most frustrating fight of the night.
Yeah.
I don't know how y'all felt. If you've seen it, Kevin, if you looked at it that way, how did you?
My internet cut out. My internet cut out during that fight, so I did not get to see it. However, seeing the results, I was disappointed. I saw the very end, and I like Iaquinta, man. He's a gamer. He's a nut, so I love that. But Hooker's not a joke either. So he brought the fight.
Is no joke. So for me, like Dan Hooker, he was able to easily implement the same game plan that fucking Cowboy did. He leg kicked him, fucked his rhythm up, and got the decision.
Okay.
There's the blueprint of fucking beating Al Iaquinta now.
100%. This motherfucker cannot check a fucking leg kick to save his life. It was.
Do you think he can't, or he doesn't want to? Like, do you think it's because part of it seems like he's just that tough guy. Like, fuck it, I'm gonna get hurt. So
it was like 2 leg kicks in, he was falling over.
Yeah, if you get kicked twice and you start falling over, you gotta check him or you gotta switch stances and move. He didn't do either.
He tried switching stances a few times.
It was frustrating as fuck. And the thing is, if I mean, basic, I don't know what Al was thinking or whatnot, but my thing was looking on the outside. If you're getting leg kicked, you switch stances and you shoot in on a motherfucker. Take 5, Reese's.
That looks good.
It does. So, but Iaquinta, the last couple of fights I've seen him fight, he's just looking. It almost feels like he's trying to be that crowd favorite, taking the beating but pushing forward type. Like which isn't healthy.
He would be a contender in the bad motherfucker title.
He's the new age. He's the new age Clay Guida.
He's the new age Outlaws.
If you smell, that's actually a rock.
Same shit. What do you mean he's a Clay Guida?
He's a new age Clay Guida because Clay Guida doesn't have defense. It's like me in a fighting game. There's no block button. The motherfucker just keeps coming at you. I mean, that's all he was doing. He was trying to implement a striking game on a more rangier, lankier fighter, and you're getting your ass whipped. He's taking 2 to get 1, and in this fight's case, he's taking 2 to the head, 1 to the leg to get in 1 body shot. That you're not gonna win that. There's no way you can win that if that's the way you are. And if you did any scouting on Dan Hooker, you know he's susceptible for jab, then go in for a takedown. He is very susceptible to a straight double leg takedown, which Al Iaquinta is very fucking proficient at. And that was the frustrating thing because
he only threatened to take down like once the whole match.
But when Al took on Kevin Lee, he was taking him down at will.
Yeah.
And Kevin Lee is a far better wrestler than fucking Dan Hooker.
It doesn't seem like that's the same Al Iaquinta that fought Khabib.
No, it doesn't. Because that was a more wrestling oriented Al. I'm getting frustrated just talking about it. But it feels like Al was trying to be Rocky out there and kick an ass whipping and then survive. And you just can't do that with that guy.
He fought Hooker more for the paid vacation than he did for actually like to better himself.
That if that's the truth,
I think he took. Yeah.
Wow.
He's like, hell yeah, I want to go to fucking.
I want to go to Melbourne.
Yeah, I want to go there again.
Let me go to Melbourne, see some koalas.
All right, so main event of the fucking evening.
Can we say walkout of the fucking year? Can we say that?
No.
I think. What do you say?
Well, first of all, I was cringing up until he started dancing. I literally was like, "Oh, this is so fucking cringy," and until he actually got into the dance and danced with his backup dancers or whatever, I was like, "All right, this is kind of cool."
Right. I mean, he does. He makes everything. Like he's okay. I think that he makes what Henry Cejudo tries to do. Right.
All right. Well, look.
So he takes all the cringiness and makes it cool.
Yeah, I agree with you. But so Kevin, is your mic muted?
No, I'm here.
Oh shit, my bad, dude. Just because I didn't hear you. But so anyway, so when you think of a greatest entrance or whatever, is it one that's gonna be like elaborate or one that everybody in the crowd's fucking amped for?
In
is it
general or just UFC?
Or is it in everything? Is it the pop or is it the fucking?
It's the theatrics.
Or is it the theatrics?
It's the theatrics.
100%,
really?
It's a theatrics. Like, look, okay. So just the goosebump style, and I'm a wrestling fan, so I gotta kind of bring it there. But like Ultimate Warrior's fucking music, the pop, boom, that was huge, right? Legion of Doom, whatever, boom, pop, right? Then you go to my boy Todd, and the chills that I got, probably because I know him, but they had a 2-minute entrance before they even came up from the fucking underground. The drums, boom, boom, boom. You had the flames coming up. You had fucking Vikings come walking out with full gear, tapping on their shields until finally, dun, 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 and they come up from the underground. And, it's like there's some of these entrances, it's the build-up. Some of them, it's just the straight pop, but I think it's a combination of both the pop and the build-up. But I love that theatrics and the drama. And I'm even going to touch into boxing a little bit. That Prince, whatever, from years ago, take 40 minutes, if you remember.
Holy
sometimes
shit.
40 fucking minutes to get down to the ring for real. And then he did that. He was kicking everyone's ass. And then one day he didn't. And he never walked down that aisle again. So, I mean, it's at a risk.
Well, I mean, there has to be a give and take with it. I mean, you don't want to go to the realm of Michelle Pajeda where you waste all your energy walking out. And I think with Israel Adesanya, I think this was the happy medium between the two. He didn't do too much, and he was a showman.
Yeah, well, like, okay, so imagine like when Darren Till came out in his hometown
With Sweet Caroline.
and the whole crowd singing, dude. That's fucking magical.
That is magical.
What he did was kind of cool, theatrical, whatever.
But the difference is, what was it intentional? did he know that crowd was going to sing "Sweet Caroline"
Yeah,
all
of
the
course.
way all the way through it? No, you don't know that crowd is going to do that. You hope that crowd is going to do that.
Okay,
but
well,
what
whatever.
Izzy did was he knew he was going to do that flip. He knew that choreography was going to come. So whether the crowd was there for pop it or not, you're always going to remember that entrance. You're always going to remember that shit.
Yeah.
If nobody popped for Darren Till, you wouldn't really care about it.
You remember? I don't know if you've seen this one, Kevin. You may have. It was on Bellator. I think it was Connor's boy. He came out to that zombie song.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "What?"
Yeah,
Even
Jack
when he was
Gallagher.
fighting, dude.
Jack Gallagher.
The bald guy.
Yeah.
His name's Jack.
I thought it was Jack Gallagher.
I thought that guy was like a fucking little Connor wannabe.
Oh.
I'm talking about the bald guy with the beard.
I don't
You're
know.
talking about the guy that what's his name?
Oh, look at you looking out. You trying to be fast.
He's trying to pretend that he's just coming
No. Well, Dylan, you're talking about Dylan Danis.
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm talking about a bald guy with a beard, but it don't matter. He came out to the fucking song "Zombie,"
Right.
And everybody in the crowd, while he was fighting, even after the entrance was off, they just kept fucking singing it and singing it and singing it.
Oh, yeah?
You don't remember that?
I don't remember
They were like,
that.
"What's in your head?" The whole crowd was just singing it, dude, and it would get him pumped, and he was still getting his ass whooped though. I ain't gonna lie. He didn't even win. I don't even think he won, yo.
He took that ass with me like a champ. But okay,
Right.
let's get into the fight itself. Okay. Did you see the fight, Kevin?
I did.
Okay. So what did you think? What was your take on Robert Whittaker's game plan to go up against Israel Adesanya?
He looked, I don't know. I want to say weaker. He looked ready, but he didn't look as crisp. Going towards his game plan seemed
Like the exact you would think he would do.
Yes, like flawed. I mean, I was gonna say flawed. Like he just seemed like he had a flawed game plan. Like why would he going toe to toe like he did? Obviously, Whittaker's a beast. He's a workhorse. He pushes and he's taken some hits, but at the same time, with the way Adesanya is and how quick he is, it just seemed like putting yourself out there was not the brightest move, and it turned out not to be.
No,
because he got clipped at the end. I mean, he was done. It was over at the end of the first.
What I don't understand is he was a guy to say, "Oh, I've watched tape on this guy. I know what to do. I got his number. You see all these weaknesses. You see all these holes." He's been on multiple interview shows saying this. And he's not one to be a trash talker, and he really didn't trash talk Adesanya at all. But to come out with a accurate striker and lunge at him is just idiotic.
Yeah, I was saying the whole match, like as soon as it began, I kept telling Ricky, I'm like, he's literally doing a Yoel Romero, blitzing it in constant, but he's doing it constantly. He's not taking his time like Yoel does. Yoel what's the word?
Lulls you to sleep.
And then blitzes in. He makes you think that it's going to be a slower match, and then fucking changes pace. No, This motherfucker was spamming the blitz, bro. He kept running in, and it's you're going to get clipped. It's only a matter of time. That's exactly what happened.
I mean, no one's questioning Adesanya's endurance, so doing that didn't really seem to be a proper game plan. Trying to push him and get to him before he got tired. It's like it's
right. I would if I was Robert Whittaker, I would have to take him into uncharted territory and take him into the wrestling, take him down.
Yes,
and
that's 100% what I thought he was going to do.
And try and like go that route.
Even if he just tried to push him against a cage and make it a dirty fight in close.
That's what I was expecting, was a dirty boxing fight, like him pushing him all the way to the cage and making it a dirty boxing fight. Because I found out researching this that Robert Whittaker is not a very good wrestler. I didn't know that, but he's only went for 2 takedowns in his whole UFC career. So it's not like he's known for his takedowns. It's not like he's known for his wrestling.
Mentally, I would think that he's got it. I don't know why. I don't know why I would think.
It's like GSP a lot. He kind of fights like GSP, and that's what I thought. I thought, okay, he's got the same style the same work ethic, kind of like GSP.
Yeah, but his wrestling is decent when you talk about defense of being able to keep it standing.
That's the difference. His wrestling defense is great, but his wrestling offense is virtually non-existent.
Just because he doesn't use it doesn't mean that he doesn't have it.
Well, that's why I said virtually. I mean, because we haven't seen it. But with Adesanya, don't come at him like that, man. That's like running at Ronda Rousey with your arms out. You're gonna get hurt.
What we're seeing right now is someone like Conor McGregor, someone like Ronda Rousey, or Henry Cejudo even. Adesanya is beating these guys before they get in the ring.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, he took somebody like Rob Whittaker and got him out of character in his fighting. And because Whittaker doesn't really blitz like that, like not constantly.
Right. And you don't think he's not doing that to Paulo Costa right now?
Oh, I know.
He's setting him up.
But here's the difference. John Jones is the greatest in the world.
Really?
Well, he's doing it because Adesanya did that.
That's what he did to Costa. That was the perfect timing.
But you know who did that first in the UFC? Fucking John Jones.
Anderson Silva. Oh, was it John? Yeah, it was John Jones. You're right.
Yep. John Jones.
Yep.
Now,
AKA Adesanya's daddy.
So do you think that what would be a better fight? I'm going to pose three possible fights to you. Adesanya versus Paulo Costa, Adesanya versus John Jones, or Adesanya versus Nate Diaz?
I have a request. Can we get Adesanya and John Jones versus Paulo Costa and fucking what's his name? The guy he just fought, Yoel Romero.
Oh, Adesanya and John Jones would murk those two.
Maybe that would be a pretty good tag team fight, right?
Oh my god!
All right,
it'd be two different styles.
It'd be murder.
To answer your question,
yeah,
the most winnable fight, Costa.
Yeah,
I agree.
Nate Diaz is the second most winnable fight, but it's a little bit more dangerous due to the fact that Diaz can take a fucking hit, and he can also grind out and take him down, and then we really get to put him in that fucking...
Yeah, Diaz will do what Ricky was saying. Diaz will push him up against the wall. He'll take a punch or two and just smash his face against the cage, and
he'll take a limb or take that neck. But when it comes to John Jones, it'll be literally John Jones beating the fucking shit out of Adesanya. It's not even a question in my mind. No. Adesanya has no fucking chance.
The reason too is everyone who's fought Jones says how big he is and how heavy and all of that.
Yeah,
Adesanya's got the quickness, but if John Jones can enforce that weight and that position inside the ring, he'll run him over. I mean, right. I'm with Buddy on that.
Right. If you take two black belts that are equal in skill, the bigger, stronger black belt will more than likely prevail.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I don't like John Jones at all. And I have to go with Jones in that because he's the bigger fighter. Now, if Israel Adesanya can miraculously gain 40 pounds of muscle and be, used to it by then, he might give John Jones a run for his money.
No, see, here's the thing though.
He's not going to.
You talk about two black belts that are like evenly skilled. I still feel like Jones is way more skilled.
How so?
Okay, so remember okay, so this is the easiest, clearest way to put it.
Okay.
You remember how my breakdown of TJ Dillashaw?
Yeah.
And I said he is the one that puts literally all the aspects of MMA and blends them together the best.
Yes.
John Jones does that as well, a lot more than Adesanya does. Adesanya is a kickboxer or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, he's a striker.
And then he'll go into wrestling if it goes there.
Right.
He's not blending everything together. Jones does.
But what I'm saying as they are equal is the freezing of fighters. If you notice that both fighters freeze their opponent with their feints, with their footwork, and with their position.
So when you get two wrestlers together, when you get two
they cancel out.
a lot of times they'll use the other aspects of their game.
Right.
Like two wrestlers or two grapplers, they're gonna strike each other out.
Yeah.
So Jones is not gonna try and freeze Adesanya. He's gonna fucking maul him.
Well, that's the point. That's what I want to see. I want to see Adesanya face that mauling. And let's be honest. I mean, I know Dana White wants to make that fight, but Adesanya's not a stupid person. He understands that he's losing 20 pounds to Jones.
Okay, well, let me get into something, guys.
Oh,
because this is something I was going to get into, but we're kind of transitioning right into it. Did you guys see the interview with Adesanya and Ariel Helwani?
I did not see it all.
Oh, oh my God, dude! When I tell you earlier, I was crying laughing, dude. Crying laughing.
Are you got a clip?
I'm gonna pull up the clip. It's on my Twitter. Just give me 1 second.
Okay. So Kevin.
So while I want to ask you a question, Rick.
Yes, sir.
Well, you ask me first because it's your podcast and you start speaking first.
It's okay. Well, what I wanted to know is like, what was your take on this, on our little conversation? Do you agree with my take on it or Buddy's take that he's just gonna maul him, smash him?
Oh, I think that Jones would destroy him, but I mean I'm a guy. I've been watching it so long. I know that there's skill involved, and so I know Adesanya's got skill, and I know that anything can happen. I've seen that as well. So what was that guy that I'll sit here and brainstorm for 5 minutes. Oh, Duffy got knocked out by that one dude a long time ago. That chunky
Mike
dude.
Russo.
Yeah, Mike Russo.
Mike Russo. Do you remember that fight?
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite fights of all time.
One of the funniest fights ever. That was the anything could happen in UFC to me. Was like that's the epitome of it. And
it was
that old man was getting fucked up. He was fat in that fight and everything. You're like, why would they even sanction this fight?
His rolls over the side of his pants were dropping to his knees. I love it.
So yeah. Oh.
All right.
All right. So this is Ariel Helwani and
Israel Adesanya.
I'm gonna play the clip right now.
There we go.
By the time this kid gets his confidence together, I'll probably already be in the heavyweight division. I don't need to wait till 2021 to start believing in myself. That's John Jones reacting to your fight.
Ariel, you know, you saw what I did this weekend, right? You know what confidence is?
Yeah.
You know what confidence is? My confidence, they get my fucking confidence. They get your fucking nuts out my mouth, bro. Shit. Oh, I said that the wrong way.
Yo, he said, Jones, get your nuts out my mouth.
I said that the wrong way. I love it.
My mother was in the car with me and shit. And I'm just sitting there laughing hysterically. She's like, "What are you laughing at?" I just couldn't stop.
I love it.
Oh man!
Ask you guys real quick, just because you know, back when I talk about these golden days of UFC, and I'm just looking right now at the middleweight championship, right? Fucking Rich Franklin held that belt for over a year. Dropped it to Silva, who had it for fucking 2,500 days, right?
Right.
And then you get Chris Weidman, who, you know, he had a couple of defenses, just really rocked the world. And then it's just been, what? You know, like, ever since. This is a great representation. I mean, Bisping held the belt. That was a cool moment because of Bisping being who he was and to be able to come back and get the belt and all that, his path. But then it's just like, this is one of the most immortalized belts in the UFC history.
Yeah.
And here we have the last 5 holders. It's just been all over the place. It's just like, what the fuck? Like, they got hurt with the, we got to have a belt on somebody syndrome that Dana White went through for 2 years.
Yeah.
I hope that with Adesanya, yeah, he did fuck it over. He did cause a bit of this, but I'm hoping with the unification and with Adesanya getting this belt, I'm hoping we're done with everyone's got to be a 2-time champion, double 2 belts and this and that. I just want to see the middleweight division, which is one of the concrete divisions in the UFC, get back on track with because there's plenty of fighters, right? There's plenty of people out there that knocking on the door. But even with Robert Whittaker, I mean, yeah, he got knocked the fuck out. He got a reset, but he's still up there. I mean, he could bounce back.
Big on Whittaker.
I think Whittaker
I was so pissed when he beat my man. When he beat my mental case. What's his name there? Karate Kid with the kick from Ultimate Fighter. What the fuck was his name?
Uriah Hall.
Uriah Hall, man. When Robert Whittaker beat Uriah Hall,
fight. It was like his debut fight, wasn't it?
It was like his
first or second fight in the UFC.
I was so pissed because I wanted Uriah Hall to go run rabbit on everybody.
Oh man, but Uriah Hall's a fucking mental case. Now I will say that he is getting his mental game in check, and he's looking real good now. Especially what he just did, where he boxed a guy for 3 rounds instead of kicking him, which shows a lot of discipline.
Yeah.
But the mental game needs to be strong with the UFC now. I mean, before you can come in and just brawl and win, now you have to have all facets of your game in top condition. And that kind of brings me on to my question.
Well, before we get into any major questions, do you want to just go ahead and play this message we got, a voice message?
Sure. So to tee this up, we have a voice message that we gotten from our Anchor listeners, and I'm not sure who this is or what it is, but
we usually get at least one.
Yeah.
Even when we don't ask for them, we'll get them.
And I tell Buddy, don't listen to them, or don't tell me you listen to them, because I want to react to them as it comes. So here we go with our listener question or comment this week.
This is Kermit the Frog.
Oh, you motherfucker!
Just kidding, it's not Kermit. It's Juice. We already know that because Ricky said that before Buddy played the question. And
he usually gives it away.
I was talking on Twitter with some people about the nickname Coconut Bombs. And this is absolutely one of the worst nicknames in MMA history. And Buddy chimed in and said, I liked it. And I said, that is fucking ridiculous. So I want to know what y'all think the worst nickname in MMA history is. And what's the best? You can name a few. Just a couple of your favorites, a couple of your least favorites. And I was going to gloat about the Fight Pick Championship, but y'all are both ahead of me. But you should definitely rub it into the other streamers and podcasters that listen to this. I'm out.
I don't know what the hell that noise was at the end was.
All right. It sounded like he was trying to drive and his New Jersey ass couldn't fucking drive. So let me get this out of the way before we answer his fucking question. Fuck you, Juice, with your Kermit the Frog impressions and your Kermit the Frog fucking memes and pictures. Fuck you both. You're playing on my childhood fears. You can kiss my ass, you motherfuckers.
Ricky loves Kermit.
That's fucked up. Fucked up coming because I know this motherfucker next to me had to tell him my childhood fears because he's family. So you're not only betraying my trust, you're betraying the trust of this fucking podcast, and I fucking hate you for it. Piece of shit.
So
can't believe you, asshole.
So now that he got that out of the system,
and fuck you, Juice. I hope I take your limb.
I'm not sure if I can think of many nicknames off of the.
We have the natural Randy Couture. We have Iceman Chuck Liddell. Yeah. We have the bad boy Tito Ortiz. We have the Wonder Boy Stephen Thompson. We have Anthony Showtime Pettis. We can go on. I mean, I got the nicknames for days.
But I'm gonna tell you the number one of all time.
Yeah,
because a lot of people don't even know it's a fucking nickname, and that's Crow Cop. Of all time, Mirko Crow Cop.
Yeah.
That's the nickname?
The Croatian cop. He's a fucking Mirko Flivovic. I can't pronounce it. The Crow Cop's fucking nickname.
Really? That's not his last name? I thought it was his last name.
And if you looked at his history, he was a officer in the Croatian police, I believe. So it was truly a nickname and not just a cool thrown together thing as he was coming out
I think it's like a lot of those guys are like that, like from like the Pride days, because you got Rampage Jackson. A lot of people forget it's Quentin.
Rampage is a pretty badass nickname as well.
But I mean, I'm not too fond of those nicknames. I like good ones like
Jacare.
Yeah, I mean, I think when your nickname becomes your name, you have a damn good nickname.
Wonder Boy, all those guys. So what would be the worst?
All I can think of is Diego the Dream Sanchez. Like when he came out, that was like that's bad, man.
I never did like the Carpenter.
Yeah, that was stupid.
The Clay the Carpenter Guida. Never did like that.
Uncle Creepy was always a little weird.
I like that one. I like that one.
Joe Daddy Stevens. I didn't like that.
Okay, that one's probably one of the worst.
I didn't like that at all.
That was probably one of the worst ones.
Yeah, especially when he started losing, and they still called him Joe Daddy.
You know, and the one that really creeped me out, the one that really Joe J-Lo Lozon, that I didn't like that.
Oh yeah.
I don't mind that one.
Was probably nice choice.
Raging Al is pretty good.
Yeah, I like Raging Al. I mean the Iceman.
Yeah, I was gonna say you mentioned a couple from the beginning, the Natural, the Iceman. I mean, those were the days. What was Tito Ortiz was
Bad Boy, Huntington Bad Boy. Let me think. Who's another good nickname?
What's Connors? Connors is he the Natural as well?
He's notorious.
Notorious.
Yeah, fucking piece of shit.
Nope.
Which for his brand is good.
Yeah, I mean he's still.
I hate Rowdy Ronda Rousey. I don't know. I get it.
I didn't hate that. Like I don't like her as a fighter, but I don't mind that nickname. It kind of
Sexy Yama. I liked Sexy Yama.
Oh, Sexy Yama.
I don't even know who the hell that is.
Akiyama.
Yukira Akiyama. He had a nice fight against Alan Belcher. It's worth
Dude, wasn't that who Chris Lieben fought in one of his last fights? He just came back after 2 weeks.
Yeah, Sexy Yama.
And then he put him in with Sexy Yama, who pieced him up.
Oh yeah, and then he sang afterwards like it was a musical. Oh my god, that's crazy.
So as I'm thinking, because I stopped listening to you guys, I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm thinking of like nicknames I like, and you know what? I like those weird, like typical, like it kind of describes the person nickname.
Like what?
Korean Zombie.
Yes.
Big Country.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I mean? I like nicknames that are like those, like this is who I am.
Sugar Rashad.
Well, Sugar Rashad doesn't really fit.
I mean, you know what I mean?
It's,
he was sweet like fucking Sugar Robinson. That's where he got that from.
Yeah, but I mean, but I'm saying it's not like a literally describing him.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
What you're saying.
I like the Big Country, the Korean Zombie. What else is there? Is there any other ones that are out there that are like that?
Descriptive words? Showtime Pettis is where I.
That's not even really there either.
He's. Let me think. You got Frankie the Answer Edgar.
See, that one's kind of stupid to me too, but it fits because a lot of times
Bones Jones. I like Bones Jones.
Well, he was skinny when he had it. Now he's not so skinny no more.
Yeah.
Let's see, any heavyweights that
you know what I don't like
come to mind?
Chael, the American Gangster.
The American Gangster.
I'm not big on that.
Oh man, but he made that though.
Yeah, but I so I can appreciate it because I like the ones that, like I said, I like the character building ones.
The Axe Murderer and
yeah, oh man, because he also had the axe kick, the fucking.
Oh my god, yeah.
Those kicks were
the Axe Murderer Silva. Did any Gracies have a nickname? I don't think.
Ice Cream Crone.
Oh yeah, Ice Cream Crone.
Ice Cream Crone.
He's fighting this weekend.
He's a co-main event.
And he's
Yep.
He's gonna whip up on fucking Cub Swanson.
R.I.P. Cub Swanson.
He fucking sucks.
I can't believe Cub Swanson's gonna. He always pulls off these stupid fights he shouldn't win.
Well, name one. Name one, please.
Look at his record. His last where he lost.
Please name one fight that he's pulled off that is like.
He's getting into
crazy.
Fucking BJ Penn territory.
I gotta look, but
yeah, please look because ever since Jose Aldo knocked him out in 8 seconds, he ain't never looked good. I don't know why they keep him around. To be honest with you,
he's a cool dude, and he's got a.
His fight with Artem Lobov, like that was luck.
Oh my
Artem
god,
Lobov, really?
You mean the goat?
The goat, son.
Yeah, don't fuck with Artem.
Choo choo,
It's
motherfucker.
been around for a while, so I'm actually thinking way back when, like his Dustin Poirier fight decision.
Yeah, before Dustin learned to fight. Yeah, that was a
Jeremy
decent
Stevens, he beat him. But George Roop, I mean, man, these names are gone. Charles Oliveira.
And the thing is, these were when these guys were not developed into their own MMA fighters. These guys were still very green, so he got them early. And
it was after he fought Aldo in WEC. He fought Aldo twice. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, Aldo whipped his ass both times.
Yep.
It was not even.
I think you guys are right on this one. I don't think he's gonna be fake and ice cream prone.
Look, hey, I anybody in the comments, anybody on Twitch, anybody on any social media, email, I don't care. Please debate me. Make me a believer in Cub Swanson. I just don't see it. I think
Ricky literally turned me into a.
He sucks.
I don't fuck with Cub Swanson's fighting skills.
He sucks.
Because I wanted to like him because he is a likable guy. He's a cool dude, and you want to like him, but
the skills ain't there.
He really does suck. So it's just that's the end.
Yeah.
So I'm reading a list of what they say is the top 25 worst, and some of them I don't think are so bad, but you know, there's just someone's website, Bleacher Report. They're saying anyone with the name Pitbull in there, anyone with assassin in their name, and they got Brad the Hillbilly Heartthrob Imes, the Flying Cockroach, the Twinkle Toes, Frank Twinkle Toes Trigg.
He's
Naked
rough now.
This is another good one. Jules Cottonmouth from the South, Bruchez. Al Fancy Pants, Dan the Police Officer Cop. They're just silly. Dave Pee Wee Herman. I mean, that's a fucking good nickname, actually.
Well, I mean,
his last name is Herman, you know?
I hate that fucking guy. And Roy Nelson knocked him the fuck out.
Yeah, he did. That was a good fight, though.
Let's see.
It happened
Ashley,
right away.
I know he did. It was good to watch.
Ashley Grimshaw. She had Ash Cream Man.
Ash Cream?
Ash Cream Man.
Oh.
Holy. Yeah, there's some shitty names out there, man.
Sean the Muscle Shark Shirk. I remember that one.
But if you looked at him, if you take a picture,
fucking muscle shark, yeah, he did.
Yeah, he looked like you remember the rollerblading sharks from the 1990s. He looked like that. Yeah, he looked like.
Yeah.
See, this one's I disagree with. I like this one right here, Marcus the Irish Hand Grenade Davis.
Yes,
I mean, that's a pretty. That's a descriptive name. I mean,
fight his fucking ass off.
Yeah,
Him versus
man.
Sam Stout was an awesome fight. Oh my god.
He fucked Sam Stout's nose up in that
Yes,
fight, if I recall correctly.
God, that was fucking great.
Destroyed his
I don't even remember that fight, you old man.
Let's see. Let's get down to the bottom. Oh, Gegard the Dreamcatcher Musasi. I actually like that.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Yeah.
Because he could have caught you anywhere. I love Musasi. Ken Flo, that wasn't so bad. Cheesy, but it stuck.
Yeah.
And then, this one's pretty bad. Logan the Pink Pounder Clark.
Whoa.
That's...
We have a winner. We have a winner.
Hobart the French Tickler. And then yours is on there. Joe J Laulo's on.
Yeah, J-Lo.
J-Lo.
J-Lo. Get the hell out of here.
And then the number
I don't hate
that's
that.
number 2.
When you hear J-Lo, you don't think of Joe Lozon. You think of Jennifer Lopez.
Actually, I think of J Lozon. You think of J Lopez because that's your favorite singer.
Hey,
man, I love watching Lozon fight. He was wrong. He's done, right? He's retired.
Who, Joe Lozon?
Yeah.
I think he's still fighting.
I think.
I'm gonna
He
look
ain't
it
fighting
up.
for the UFC. Or
Buddy's
Bellator.
gonna like this one. The number 1 worst from Bleacher Report. Joseph the Hobag Bochnek.
The hoe bag. I think you've caught a few hoe bags in your life.
That's a pretty good one.
That ain't me. That's you.
Joe Lozon's fighting on October 18th.
I told you. Fuck y'all.
What backyard
fighting-
bare knuckle boxing?
UFC.
Yeah, he's fighting Jonathan Pierce
Thank you.
on ESPN6
Huh?
next week.
And he's gonna win.
He's still with the UFC? For real?
Yo, Ricky.
No way.
Yeah, he's fighting
Ricky's on crack,
October 18th.
everybody.
35 years old, 27-15.
Joe Lozon's going to get hurt.
That's a pretty hell of a segue there. Look at
He
that.
need to get hurt, yeah.
All right, so you got a couple of questions you wanted to pose.
Okay, so we went over a couple questions. So the one question that we didn't get into is Del Castro. So he took on Tafa. We went over
I thought
that
it was
fight.
De Castro, not
De
Del.
Castro, whatever. What do you consider his punch, his right hand, lucky or calculated? Did he bait Tafa in, or did he react and get lucky? So I guess the better question: did Tafa get caught, or did he get his ass beat? What do you think?
I mean, he got caught for sure, but I think De Castro pulled out a baseball bat, like I said, and just no one saw it. No, it looked. I mean, he was swaying when he threw it, but I'm looking at a picture. His eyes were down. He's looking at his feet when he threw that thing. So I mean, I guess it depends on how you look at it.
Same.
It was
For me, it's the same as Adesanya and Whittaker. What?
I'm just dumbfounded. I want to understand this, please.
Don't go running in on a motherfucker that you can get knocked out by.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you on that.
So you're on the opposite side? You think that he just got lucky?
Yeah, I do, because like you said, you look at the pictures and you look at the video playback. He's looking at his feet when he throws that right hand. He doesn't see where it's going. Like Adesanya sees the punches where he's going. He is a very accurate striker. De Castro, I don't know.
So he's looking at his feet, but he's also two things. One, he throws his left hand up to block the right of Tafa at the same exact time as he's throwing. So he's aware. He's aware that the right is coming, but he's throwing the left. But as soon as he's done throwing the left, before he's even knocked out, as he's fallen, he comes right over the top with a left that would have murdered him if he wasn't knocked out cold. So he was throwing a combination. So he was cognizant of what he was doing, and he was blocking. So I think, going to Buddy's point, I think he was just, if Tafa didn't run in, it might have just been a 1-2 that clipped him but didn't put him out. But because he was running in with a fucking haymaker, he just went straight to the floor.
Gotcha.
So the lack of Tafa's skill or strategy should not take away from De Castro's knockout or skills. You shouldn't say, oh, just because he gave it to him easy doesn't mean that De Castro's not skilled.
So you would call De Castro accurate and powerful. That's what I thought.
Well, let me say this too. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, bud.
All I'm gonna say is I would say he could be considered that way, but we would have to see him against another person.
Right.
Someone that isn't running on him.
Because fighting is so, you got two people in there, anything can happen. When you really look at it, I'm just looking at feet and everything, right? You got the Castros going back. And so Tafa's coming in because he's pushing the Castro back. He's not against the cage. He's going back. And when Tafa starts his swing, which he's trying to knock him out with that one punch, his feet are planted. He's punching straight through. And De Castro stops mid drop back, both feet behind him, planted, not one in front of the other. And he swings from that position, leaning, like jump back and swings with his feet behind him. If he didn't start throwing that punch, his face would have been in the perfect spot to be knocked the fuck out. And he would have probably been knocked out with that punch from Tafa. But because he starts his punch, his face gets an inch away and Tafa only clips the side of his jaw. So Tafa hits him. But if he didn't start throwing the punch when he did, it could have been a double knockout. It could have been, anything. But because he moved his head just enough, because he was lunging down to throw that fucking punch from planted feet, now you have one man knocked out instead of the other. In my opinion, seeing some of those knockouts that Tafa did do, that could have just been the other way around, and we would have been saying the same exact story, but for Tafa instead of De Castro.
Okay, I can accept that. What do you think? Same thing?
I think De Castro needs another opponent. Maybe not somebody well known, but we need to see him against somebody that's not going to run in on him.
Who would you like to see him against?
I like it could be somebody not so ranked or whatever that we're not aware of, but a different skill set. Somebody's going to be a bit more reserved and not try and just bring a quick fight. Somebody, you know what I mean? Somebody going to be playing a game plan that isn't going to play into his forte.
I heard the name Greg Hardy tossed out a couple times.
No, he'll get fucking demolished by Greg Hardy.
I mean, that's pretty accurate.
He's not ready for Greg Hardy. Greg Hardy has less fights, but Greg Hardy will go play into his thing, but do it better.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
So I think he's better than Greg. I think Greg Hardy is better than him.
Right. Okay. So, 2 more questions. My first question is actually I can't say that this was my question, but I did hear it from another podcast, from Juice's podcast, Fighting With Myself podcast. So, what is an underutilized move in MMA nowadays? What's a move that you want to see more of that you don't see in MMA now?
Spin and shit.
Spinach.
I mean, that's too generalized, and there is some spinning shit.
I've seen more.
No, I'm kidding around.
Yeah.
Man. Well, I'll defer to Buddy first, just because I need to think for a moment.
Okay. So what do you think, bud?
100% more slams.
Slams. Okay.
I think people could, instead of just going for like takedowns and trying to get to the ground, maybe have some guys that specialize in really fucking you up with a slam. And I feel like that those knockouts are a lot cooler than just like a TKO where you take somebody down and then beat their face in.
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to see more of that.
I like slam. I think the groundwork tends to be sloppy on a lot of fighters who get people down. It's just down and back up and down and back up. I really like seeing when they got some strong ground game, and I love seeing leg work. I love seeing leg locks, heel hooks, things like that, because you see the sheer fucking panic in these fighters when someone who knows how to put a heel hook on, like, who is it? Romero could do a heel hook, right?
Paul Harris.
Yeah, that's right, Paul Harris. When he would throw a heel hook on somebody, they would they'd go white
because he wouldn't let go.
They would be tapping. They would be tapping. The ref would be like, "Fight's over," and he would still go.
100%. But even what's that other guy that no one will fight?
Oh, Ryan Hall.
Ryan Hall, yeah.
Ryan Hall. He gets in there with those leg spin, whatever. I mean, people panic when their legs start getting involved. A lot of these fighters will risk their arm, their shoulder, their elbow, whatever. They'll break their hand 14 times in a fight, but you put their knee at risk and it's over. And some of these people don't tap, and then their careers are over.
Yeah.
So it's just I'd like seeing more of that, because it is, while it sucks to say, well, man, they're gonna ruin their career. You know what? It's the fighting game. Those things are legal. So use more of it.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, Ricky. I think the main reason why people are not so quick to go for those leg locks is because if not on completely correct right away, you're dealing with somebody. You could be in the wrong position to get beat up on ground and pound wise.
Well, okay, to do a leg lock properly and to do it right, you have to give up all your limbs to concentrate on one limb. So you're losing the battle of blocking. So if you don't get the leg lock correct, then you have both your arms and both your legs wrapped up on one limb, and that leaves you exposed for a whole shitload of ass whipping. I mean,
which makes that move that more impressive. So I get why it's like impressive.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. I mean, I didn't want to shit all over Kevin's answer.
Well, slams also put you at a disadvantage if you don't knock him the fuck out.
Right.
Sometimes.
I mean,
so shit on Buddy's answer as well.
Fuck you, man.
No. I'm with you. I love seeing some of that obscure stuff. And I mean, honestly, I would mark the fuck out if someone just threw on $1 million dream and put somebody to sleep, because I know that move truly will put you to sleep. But I'm sure there's a reason they don't use it. I just would love to see it. Out of anything in the world, I would just love to see that someone grab that wrist and start, what's he doing here? What's he doing? Slip that fucking arm up and in, and just as tight as can be, because you can put somebody out in 10 seconds with that thing. And I'm sure there's better moves, but that one would be one of those ones that would be in the, yeah, I mean, shit, man. If someone pulled that off, they could come out to that music every week and I'd just bow to them. So,
oh, God, yeah. Now, my answer is way more technical than both of y'all's. And I know it probably won't get the respect that y'all gave, but I want to see more Wing Chun in
Jesus Christ. What is up with
MMA.
this? I had a coworker come up to me today, show me Wing Chun versus MMA fighter. I said, I guarantee the MMA fighter fucking destroys him.
Well, if you just
Could you explain a little bit what you mean by the Wing Chun in terms of, is that a fighting style?
Wing Chun is a kung fu style Chinese boxing, and it is created so it's more for close quarters, not easily movable.
Was this the Bruce Lee 2-inch punch or whatever?
Kind of, yes.
Was this created by a woman?
Yes, it was. It was created by a woman. I will say that.
Okay. I'm with you.
Okay.
Kind of.
Okay. But Wing Chun, like the use of vertical punching and straight down the pipe punching instead of coming an overhand. You say
vertical,
right.
You mean like this, or
no, I mean like this. So think of your arm as a piston.
You can't do 6 to.
No, you can't use 12 to 6 elbows. You can punch instead of turning your wrist over like that. Instead of turning the fist, you're coming straight, thumb straight in the air, straight at the person.
Okay.
So
is there a risk to break the wrist with that?
Well, that's the thing. You have to train the wrist.
No, I think you cock your hand and it's like more of a pinky.
No.
Or no, or isn't it like a roll?
It's straight.
They don't do like a roll or something with their fists?
No, it's straight. It's straight
I
as
thought
an arrow.
I don't know. I thought I saw some bullshit tapes on it. I still think the whole fucking thing is bullshit.
Well, and that's the reason I want to see more of it, because I know it's not bullshit. But
the one that implements it the most is Tony Ferguson, correct?
Yes, he is. And nobody sees it coming, and you can't really block it because a straight line will beat a hook every day of the week. And that's
just
why
ask Jones.
Yeah, just ask Jones.
Straight line.
Straight line. Straight line. Straight line. Beats a curve.
So hard, man. He hasn't killed anybody that we know of.
I like how you press him. That we know of.
All right, so you want
guys, real quick on the John Jones thing, real quick, because you shit on him a lot, and it's rightfully so. But when that man won that fucking belt, okay, when he beat Shogun, he was visibly a different person, okay? And they even said, I forget who was doing the announcing at the time, probably Joe Rogan and
Goldberg.
Yeah, and Michael Goldberg there, and but I remember somebody saying that they were worried that someone that young running into that much fame was going to run into a lot of trouble in the future. And lo and behold, that's exactly what he did. And so who knows if he was like that all his life, or ever since he started becoming powerful or famous or successful in any capacity. But the John Jones we see today, who's done some really crazy shit, who blatantly lies and says one thing, does another type of stuff. Money corrupts, man, and that success, he was rolling with some heavy crew right after that win. And I mean, it sucks to see, but look at Conor, man. Conor was just a fucking guy. He was a fighter. He was a plumber. He was a workhorse. He wasn't as crazy and loudmouth until the loss didn't matter. You know what I mean? He's so successful, a loss doesn't matter. And now he's just larger than life, and he's fucking hurting people and punching out old people. That shit did not occur in his life that we know of prior. It's this fame and fortune really puts a lot of, you hear it all the time, but these people are jumping into that fame and fortune so fast. It's like these successes that occur really changes these people. So I try to think about that when I'm looking at someone like John Jones, who was just a kid once, winning the fucking belt. And now, yeah, I mean, do I think he should treat people better? Yeah, for sure. But I watch fighting for fighting and not soap operas. So I want to see the best fighters out there. And if they have, just like if they're, when they did the Suicide Squad, and they're like, we need the fucking strongest. Well, we got to go get these bad guys. You got to keep them in a cage, take them out of the cage. If UFC could do that and pull some of these badass motherfuckers from the prison just to get them to fight, if they're better than John Jones, I would love to see it. I don't give a fuck what they've done.
So
that's what I want to see.
So to touch on that, John Jones, I feel like he was like that the whole time, and then he didn't really start embracing it until he was caught on camera acting his real self. Because back then he was posing as this goody two shoes type of fighter and everything, and but he was always doing the dirty. He was always, a dickhead or whatever you want to call it. But he hasn't really changed other than the fact that we see more of it. Conor McGregor, I think he got worse as the money came, but I don't think Jones got any worse at all. I think we just see more.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah.
So to touch on that, and I am completely biased. So
he doesn't like black people, everybody.
John Jones, he's an asshole.
Hater.
Yeah, I'm a hater on him. Okay. Now I cannot deny that his striking ability and his game planning is far better than everybody else in the game. I mean, you can't deny that. As much as you want to hate on him, you can't deny that. But
would you rather him be out because he's an asshole and not see the best fighter in the world fight? Or would you rather just see him fight? If he's going to continue to be the best fighter in the world, regardless of whether he's good or bad as a person, wouldn't you rather know who the best fighter in the world is?
Yes and no. Because the reason I say yes is because, yes, if we're strictly going skill for skill, he will dominate. That's no doubt about it. But we also have to remember, and I'm learning as we go on with this podcast and getting more into MMA, that there is an entertainment factor involved. And when the entertainment factor comes in, then John Jones's character becomes into question. And if you're going to be an asshole and you're going to be a dickhead and you're going to be unlikable, then you're going to suffer. That's what Conor's going through right now. I mean, Conor hasn't fought, so there hasn't been nothing to show. And now he looks like a desperate, irrelevant fighter. And the same with John Jones. If you notice, John Jones is still relevant because John Jones is a champ and John Jones hasn't been beat, and he looked really good against Thiago. But if you notice right now, he's seeing that he doesn't have anybody to dance with. So he's looking out, and he's calling out on Stipe. He's calling out on Israel Adesanya.
Oh, he went in on Israel after that.
Exactly.
But audio surfaced.
But you think that Jones doesn't know that he's much, much bigger than Israel Adesanya? He knows that. But he's not picking on Henry Cejudo. He's not picking on anybody else. I mean, he knows he's bigger than these people, but he's picking on people that is going to make headlines. He's not picking on people that isn't that obvious,
Yeah.
Yep.
But if it's skill for skill, yeah, sure, I love to see that. But that's not the case in UFC or MMA. There's a entertainment factor involved, and when entertainment gets involved, your character comes into question. And John Jones just don't fucking have it. That's why I can't fuck with John Jones.
He does fucking have it.
No, John Jones has charisma, okay? But he, with this day and age, and how much access we're given to these fighters, they don't have any privacy, and your real character comes through, and he's an asshole, and that's why I can't fuck with him.
Oh well, fuck him. He's the best fighter in the world. He'll still beat anyone's ass.
Oh, I love how you bring it all back to reality real quick, just like that.
Just boom.
I mean, there's nothing you can do about what kind of character he is. He's still the greatest of all time.
100%. I can't deny that. All right, so let's move on.
Actually, fuck that. The real GOAT is Bisping fighting and
with
winning
one eye.
Winning the world title with one eye.
Can we just acknowledge that real quick? Not only did Michael Bisping win the world title
with like a week's notice,
but he beat motherfucking Anderson Silva with one eye.
But did he tell people he only had one eye at the time? I thought he was saying that he was fine.
Yeah, he was.
He said he had a bad eye.
Yeah, he was saying his eye was bad, but it was non-existent.
The one eye thing just came out.
Yeah.
And he just popped it out of his fucking head the other day in that video you guys sent me. That was nuts.
Yeah, because I don't think many people were aware that it actually was, it's been like that.
But I always believed me that it was fake.
Yeah, because I was behind like a week or two on because I listened.
Because he's always on these, he's always on TV. I remember when he was out for a while when he had that injury. I would never have guessed that he was having his eye removed and replaced. But I remember
about his eye, but we didn't know it was fake.
But you could see that it was fucked up because when he'd look into the camera, you'd see that one eye always had a glint. And my dad got surgery on his eyes. He didn't get them replaced, but he had that, not cataract surgery. There was another one where they basically put a chip in his eye, in the back of his eye, or a mirror, or whatever it was.
You won't ever lose him.
No, I could see him forever. But like, you can see that chip, certain angles of the sun or light, you can just see this glint in his eye. And that's what but Bisping, you could tell that his eye looked robotic. I just didn't think it really was. I thought it was something like that. Like he had cornea surgery or something. And
right.
That's what we were seeing. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But see, look, this goes full circle, right? Now we have the Alpha, and he's over here murking people on Apex Legends with one eye.
Bet he can't murk people in Fight Night or Fight Championship, Fight Pick Championship.
But he didn't do too bad.
He murked me, man.
And here's the thing, though. Here's the beauty about the point system, and I hope that you like it. If a few bad weeks, and a few bad weeks for me, a few good weeks for you, vice versa. It's like we can come out even.
Well, I look at it like this too, right? We have this card coming up that counts, right? Like this card coming up is no better or worse than the UFC pay-per-view, right? So I can catch up on a shit card, and anything could happen, right?
I doubt that you're gonna.
But my point is, I can. I doubt it too, bud. I doubt.
Beat you to the insult.
No, see, I'm not even trying to insult him. I'm not even trying. I doubt that you're gonna do much better than anyone. I think that this is like a hard main card to pick for.
Yeah.
These are the ones I'll excel at. The ones where it's a guess.
This is not a guess for me. I mean, there's a lot of thought to what I pick.
You tell me who you're gonna pick. I'll double check it and make sure you're right, and then we'll go from there.
Hey, you can go off of my picks. It doesn't matter.
All right. Speaking of that, let's get into that. So we got Fight Night, UFC Fight Night 161 in the Amelia Arena in Tampa, Florida, coming up, and the main event of this is Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Michelle Karate Hottie Waterson. Now, I don't know about y'all, but this main event is a complete pick'em for me because it could go either way.
Do you really feel that way though on this one?
100%.
Yeah. So I really feel that way.
100%.
I love Michelle Waterson. I think she's so bubbly and peppy and good looking and all those great things. But Jędrzejczyk is gonna fuck her up. I mean, she's gonna fuck her up.
Me and Ricky were talking strategy beforehand, and we'll get into that. We should probably start at the earlier fights, but I'll just say to you, there are factors that I agree with you. She should be able to fuck her up, but there's a lot of factors to come into play. But we'll talk about that in a minute.
All right.
First, let's start at the bottom like we usually do.
Okay. Here we go. UFC Fight Night 161. We start off the night with JJ Eldridge versus Lauren motherfucking Mueller. Now, Lauren Mueller is a Dan Henderson girl. She trains with Dan Henderson over at Team Quest.
I didn't even know
that. So she's coming in on this women's flyweight division. JJ Aldrich, I believe she has one fight in the UFC, maybe one.
I think she has a couple fights in the UFC. And I'm higher on JJ than you are, obviously.
Well, she fought Macy Barber and got her ass whipped.
Yeah, but the fights before that, she looked good.
Okay. Well, then I'm wrong. I seen she fought Macy Barber, and just Macy Barber took it to her.
I don't remember if this is a correct description of her or not, but I remember us talking about a big titty, a skinny big titty girl that was a redhead. Okay. I think she's a redhead with big titties that's skinny, but I can't remember.
Oh man, we ain't never gonna get picked up by ESPN now.
She did a lot, dude. The past.
Why I don't like ESPN, Rick.
Past episodes were worse than this. So anyway, she did a lot of spinning fucking back fists and shit in her fights, and I like that.
Okay.
Spinning shit. Yeah. I like spinning.
So me personally, I got Lauren Mueller taking it with decision. What do you got, bud?
I think this JJ is gonna use her titty power. I don't even know if she has big titties. I'm just saying that. Maybe I'm hoping that. somebody look it up.
Oh my God.
So anyway, she's gonna use spinny shit. She's gonna confuse Lauren Mueller and get a decision win.
All right. What do you got, Kevin?
I mean, this isn't my final pick for the pick'ems.
No, we only picked the main card in a Fight Pick Championship. So these are all prelims.
I'm gonna go with Mueller as well.
Mueller, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And these are not our final picks for Fight Picks either. We're subject to change them until
based
we
on
post
the weigh-ins.
Them. Yeah, we like to watch the weigh-ins
because you can tell a lot about a fighter when you see them get on that scale. You can see their mental state and all that.
Or if somebody comes in overweight, they're more than likely going to win.
Yeah. So moving on to the next fight, we got Marvin Vettori versus Andrew Sanchez. Now, if you don't know who Marvin Vettori is, he fought Israel Adesanya recently. Well, not recently, but he fought Israel Adesanya and took him to decision.
Real quick, I want to take back all the titty comments, and I remember what we were calling her. She's got a big dumbass forehead. I knew it was something big.
Oh my God!
I just looked her up. She's gonna use that forehead and win, not the big titties, because the titties are not that big. They're okay though. They're good sized. We're not mad at you, JJ.
Oh man, and you know fighters listen to us.
Yeah, well, hey, if you wear a big cup, I'll talk about that too. It's pretty nuts when some of these guys come in.
Pretty nuts. I bet it is.
My balls is hot.
Hey, George St. Pierre knew how to wear a cup.
Hey,
rocking.
All right, so
back to the fights.
Vettori versus Sanchez. Who do you got, bud?
All right, well, let me give you a breakdown of the fight in case you guys don't know who either one of these guys are. Andrew Sanchez.
He's a dirty motherfucker.
He's a dirty Sanchez. He's pretty good. He's got decent wrestling, right?
Yeah.
That's like his thing. And then you got somebody like Marvin Vettori, which his like big thing that he claims the fame. His claim to fame is, I lost the split decision to Adesanya. Big fucking deal, dude. I'm gonna go with Sanchez, and I'm gonna say he's gonna get a decision win. He's gonna grind him out.
All right. I say Vettori, and he's going to get his decision because he has pretty good defensive wrestling.
Fuck him.
What do you?
Yeah, I'm gonna. I'm looking, and I'm gonna go with. Vettori.
Good man.
You just think that because he looks more like a fighter body. Don't lie, Kevin. I see your eyes.
He's not in his head like, yep, you got me. Shit. All right, moving on. We got Miguel Bazia versus Hector Aldana. Who do you got and why, bud?
Beza, first round knockout. Hector, I think he has 3 or 4 losses in a row.
Yes.
So, but it was weird. His record was like messed up. Like I said, he was like 4-2, but he's like got like 8 fights on his record.
He's got a lot of canceled fights.
No, but like, how the fuck did you win or lose it if it was canceled?
You don't.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
But anyway, I think that this is a give me fight for Miguel.
So I'm saying Miguel, second round knockout. I think Adesanya is going to run around the first round. What do you think, Kev?
This is a build up fight for Miguel. 6-0. He's going to be 7-0.
Yeah.
Probably a first round KO. This guy Aldena's probably being paid. They'll probably scratch it from his record. He'll have a 4-2 record after this.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, moving on. We got a bantamweight fight between Marlon.
T. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. Sorry. Marlon who?
Marlon Vera versus Andre Ewell.
Oh my God.
Now, this is going to be a great fight. I'm
for sure.
I'm saying this is going to be fight of the night. The whole fight card. This is the fight to look out for. Marlon Vera is a game striker. Holy shit!
This isn't the only fight of the night, but it's potential.
Okay.
Because you're hating on some people right now.
I'm not hating on.
But I'll give it to him. This could be potentially the fight of the night.
All right. And Andre Ewell got some skills, yo. Got some real good skills.
Hell yeah. So Ewell, his last performance was so great. It's literally one of the best performances I've seen in the octagon. His head movement and the way he just completely fucking footwork and head movement and all that together.
Head movement.
He just looks so much better, and he was perfect. And then you got somebody like Chito who fucking has a lot of hype behind him. He's very aggressive in his striking. He's very game when it comes to his grappling. I'm gonna go with Ewell by decision, but I think it is gonna be potentially fight of the night.
This motherfucker stole my answer, yo.
I didn't steal shit. I have it written down.
He's looking at my paper right now and just stole my answer. I have the same exact thing. I think the same exact reasoning behind it, because that dude's performance last time was out of this world. He looked like he was on expert mode and the guy was on beginner mode in his last fight. It was that much of a gap. So I'm looking for Andre Ewell to take it via decision. What you got?
Yeah, I'm looking at Ewell as well.
But don't get me wrong now. Chito Vera, he ain't no whore. He gonna straight up bring it to him.
He's very dangerous.
Say Ewell submission. Second round.
Yeah, and that's a good breakdown, because his last fight, Chito, I'm pretty sure it was his last fight. He almost got rear naked choked right away.
Yeah.
The guy brought it to him. It was a last minute replacement. Nobody really knew who he was. And then he literally almost choked him out immediately. So we were like, damn, this guy nobody knows is pretty fucking good.
All right, can you announce the next fight? Because I mess up this guy's name every single time I say it. And I don't want to do anybody a disservice.
All right, this next fight is John Smith versus Robert Downey Jr. So anyway, is this the Figueroa?
Yes.
All right, so I have no idea how to say his first name, but it's Figueroa versus Tim Elliott.
So I believe I'm going to try it. Davison is Figueroa's name. And Tim Elliott. Now, these both are another game fighter. This is another potential fight of the night. Figueroa is extremely aggressive, but he's got the old man strength and the old man grit. Like, he's been in the fight game since he was 2 kind of thing. And Tim Elliott is a very game, has a strong chin, can take a punishment. But you know what? I think the aggression is going to take over, and I think Figueroa is going to get him third round TKO. That's what I think.
All right, so the way I look at these fighters is a little different than you. I've been high on Figueroa since I've seen him fight, and like I said, I was very surprised when Formiga beat him, but that's the only person that ever beat him. That's the only person. And Tim Elliott, he's got plenty of losses on his record, different ways of losing, different ways of winning. So he's well rounded. The best thing that he has going for him is he's not. It's like his he's very tricky. He's got his own unique style, so he's hard to kind of time and understand because he's got a weird timing and a weird way he flows. It's entertaining to watch him fight, but he's not nearly as good as Figueroa. Figueroa's going to get him. He's going to be cautious first round. He's going to come in the second round and get a TKO.
Kevin, what you got?
I don't disagree with that. Again, I see UFC as a business. I see them as trying to promote certain people. Figueroa is definitely he's well versed. Tim Elliott knows how to lose. He knows how to win as well.
Damn.
But I think this is not a gimme fight, but this is a fight to highlight Figueroa's skill sets, and I think you're going to see a decision.
Awesome. All right, moving on. We got a welterweight fight, 170. Max Griffin taking on Alex Morano. Who you got and why, bud?
All right, so I just am not a big fan of Max Griffin. Let's just say that, okay?
Okay.
And I don't really know Morano that much, but looking at the record and looking at the way he's won and stuff, I just think that he'll probably get a second round TKO. I see Max Griffin being wrestling based, but he also likes to throw down. He's got the right attitude. He's just not very even though he's, like I said, he likes to throw down, it's still not that entertaining to watch. It's just kind of shitty. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I have the exact same thing, and for the exact same reason. Yeah, I'm sorry. We're not in contention right now. Usually we're on opposite ends, but yeah, I agree with you on this one, man. I cannot. What you got, Kev? You take Gryffindor?
I'm going Gryffindor.
Oh shit!
Higher. This is when I don't know. Sometimes you got to go with your gut. Guy holds his chin up higher in his picture because he knows he's got Tuckett in the fight. Morano, a little bit of a moron, a little bit just looking straight.
Morano.
Ray Romano.
I'm just throwing a shot in the dark here. I'm gonna say Griffin.
How does he get it done?
Decision.
Okay. All right, moving on.
Real quick, can I butt in?
That's your name.
All right, look, check us out. Griffin. This is something that just went in my head, so I gotta tell you guys. I saw Griffin written on my paper, and then I started thinking of Eddie Griffin. Do you guys know the comedian?
Yeah.
You remember on the movie, and he goes, "You forgot about my black fuzzy balls." Sorry, I just was thinking of that. So shout out to that movie, whatever it was.
That'd be Undercover Brother.
Undercover Brother.
This is why we keep him around. He's got the talent, right?
Whatever. I feel like he's mad at me.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Nah, not at all, brother.
Oh, he's got the talent. He brought up the balls.
Well, you bring the golden nuts, don't you? Like Kevin was saying.
All right, what's the next fight? Since you done down me.
We got Ryan Spann versus Devin Clark in a light heavyweight battle.
All right. Do you know anything about either one of these guys?
Yeah, Ryan Spann's a fucking knockout artist.
Maybe.
And he's got the longer range of the two fighters.
Okay.
4 inches.
All right, so
Yeah. He's got a 4-inch reach advantage on Devin Clark.
another thing about Span is he is the Black Peterson. Because
the Black Peterson.
He's got the fucking Superman tattoo.
Oh my
god. And he's the guy that just knocked out Lil Nog.
Yeah.
So and I remember that was a good match, which is why I went with first round knockout against Brown Bear. Which is potentially a bad nickname in my eyes. Devin Brown Bear Clark.
Yeah.
It's like the most boring to mention the Black Beast.
Oh yeah,
as a nickname.
Nicknames.
That's a hell of a nickname.
Shout out to Fighting With Myself again for that nice question, and fuck you on the Kermit shit. Anyway, moving on. I think Span's got it first round KO as well. What do you think, Kev?
Same thing. First round.
Same thing. All right, moving on. Next one, we got Nico Price taking on James Vick. Now, James Vick is moving up from 155 and moving up to 170. Now, I thought Nico Price was littler because James Vick is pretty tall in 155. Excuse me, but they're actually pretty similar in size. And I took Nico Price via decision over this one because they both fight with their hands down, but Nico Price is a little bit more aggressive.
If you've been following the podcast since we've started, I was very high on James Vick. I really liked him. I liked his skill set. I liked everything, and he was training in Maryland and stuff. But slowly but surely, he's made me not a fan. Some of the weird shit he did when he was about to fight Gaethje, and then he got knocked the fuck out a couple times. He's moving up in weight, so it might be harder to knock him out. But I say he still has that weird, I'm a taller guy, so I'm going to just lean back with my chin in the air. And Nico Price is a fucking bad motherfucker, and he's going to come in there and knock him out first round, just like the rest of the motherfuckers did. And Nico Price has said on interviews, don't blink, motherfucker, because my fight will end in fucking devastating fashion.
Yeah, Nico Price pushes it, and little shout out, my buddy Johnny knows him personally.
Oh,
and, really? Yeah, he went to school with them, and so I hope to see that guy push forward, and he has a good style that I like watching. He does take some risks, gets himself put out there, but I'd like to see him take this one.
I like his nickname, the Hybrid.
Yeah, the Hybrid. The same with Brandon Schaub, right? That was the.
I don't know, but it fits.
Yeah, Brandon Schaub was the Hybrid as well.
Well, it fits Nico Price's fight style a lot more than fucking Brendan Schaub's. Don't ever bring up Schaub on this fucking podcast
again. Yeah, he was Brendan the Hybrid Schaub.
Well, it fits Nico Price a lot more. So,
oh, absolutely does.
How close are you with Johnny?
Oh, pretty close.
Does he what happened with what did he pop for, Nico Price? Or did you not talk to him a lot about Nico Price?
No, I mean he would call me and tell me he's fighting and stuff like that, but I didn't talk to him about that.
I thought he was a good friend of Nico Price. My bad. He just went to school.
No, he went to school with him, knows him. Yeah, he knows him. I'm fairly certain probably similar to me knowing Todd. I mean, I don't talk to Todd every day, but I can. I reach out to him.
Awesome.
Todd's not going to tell me if he tore a leg muscle, started doing roids. It's
well, Nico Price popped for something and got a fight overturned.
Right?
Well, he got a whole decision fight. I mean, he knocked out a dude. Now it's overturned.
Was that his last fight?
No, like a couple fights ago. Might have been a while ago, but still.
I'll find out. I'll see if I can find it.
All right, moving on.
I think it might have been against Morano.
I'll get Johnny to tell me in private, and then we'll have breaking news here on this podcast.
I mean, it might already be done. I didn't really research it. I mean, I just was wondering if you had any inside scoop since you fucking.
Yeah, no inside scoop. Just other than I know my buddy knows him and says he's a decent guy.
The information's probably out there. I just didn't look.
Lazy.
No, I mean, I wasn't that interested, but the fact that he knew him made me kind of want to think about asking somebody. That's all.
Yeah, I agree.
Fair enough.
All right, moving on. We got middleweight fight. Eric Anders.
This is the first fight of the main card.
So get your pick right. Eric Anders taking on Gerald Mearshart.
It's a shitty nickname. Mearshart.
Okay.
I think that's his last name.
It is.
So Anders has been having a couple bad fights.
Yeah.
Okay. Bad matchups.
Khalil Roundtree whipped his ass.
Gerald is also not had the best record in the UFC. But he also hasn't done well sometimes against guys that will really bring it to him right away. So I feel like Gerald's a slower starter, and Eric Anders comes out ready to fucking brawl. And I think this is kind of them trying to give Anders a fight that will play well into his game or his fight style. Yeah. So I think Anders is going to do like he always tries to do and gets the first round knockout.
Oh yeah,
I agree. I'm calling Anders with I'm gonna say second round KO because I'm gonna think they're gonna feel each other out in the first round. I think he's just gonna come strong in the second, knock him out.
Did you see when Anders got that soccer kick knockout?
Was that Anders? I think I know. I think I recall seeing it.
He's a fucking savage, and that's the thing. Like even the losses he's had recently, they don't really. He's somebody that they're not even going to think about cutting, just because he's always ready to fight.
Yeah. So I took the opposite. I say Gerald Mearshot's going to take him and
sharp right all over him, isn't he?
Well, yeah, basically because Eric Anders gasses. He gasses in the second round, and then the third round he ain't going to be worth a damn, and Mearshot's going to submission third round.
So hold up. It really is. What's going to happen is Anders is going to knock him the fuck out, and then he's going to shart in his pants. Okay, because he merely sharted.
Just a little meerkat. Just a little meerkat shart.
Yeah.
He merely sharted, but then when he got knocked out, he fucking fully sharted.
Fully sharted.
Spilled all over the canvas.
So yeah, I mean, I think this is either going to be a very boring fight or a very quick fight.
Yeah. So moving on. We got Matt the Steamroller Ferrola taking on Lewis Violent Bob Ross Pena. Talk about some nicknames.
Now this is the other one that I think is potential fight of the night.
These two are violent, aggressive fighters.
They're both, they're both game when it comes to striking, but at the same time, they're both game when it comes to grappling. And they both like to keep a high pace. There was a lot of thought into this because they have very similar records. 7-1 and 7-0, I believe. And ultimately, I ended up going with Frevola because I was looking at their last opponents, right? And Frevola fought somebody the same size as Bob Ross and won in his last fight. I say Bob Ross, but you guys know him.
Yeah, Pena.
And he won.
Okay.
He beat the Tarantula Jalen Turner, 6'3", both 6'3". So he knows that he just was doing a game plan against a guy the same size.
I gotcha.
Then you got Bob Ross who fought somebody, older fighter, Matt Wyman, and completely fucking demolished him. But the guy was very, very old school, had the tricks up his sleeve, and was able to kind of survive longer than what we were expecting. But Frevola's way more game when it comes to the fucking meat on the ground. He's not going to let fucking Violent Bob Ross do what he did to Wyman. So I think that going off of both their fights, I think Frevola is more ready for the type of fight that fucking Pena has coming to him. Yep. So I'm going with decision for Frevola.
Oh, decision for Frevola. Okay. I'm going to say the opposite of that, and I'm going to say Pena's going to take it to him and be all violent and keep that pace going. Ferrola's going to gas a little bit and Third round TKO for Pena. What you got, Kev?
I got a second round KO TKO for Pena. He's gonna be bloody. He's gonna have blood in that.
Motherfuckers. Hey, when I get this one correct, I'm really gonna fucking rub it in your guys' faces. Because this is part of Fight Pick Championships.
Oh, I know.
And this is one I'm definitely not caring about the weigh-ins.
Damn.
I'm picking that.
Right now.
Sure. He's ready to lose, isn't he?
My picks will be my picks when I put them in the chat. All right.
That's right. All right. So moving on to in a more unknown ending of this fight, because I have no idea how this fight's going to go. It all depends on the weigh-ins. I didn't even really want to pick the winner of this fight. We got Mackenzie Dern versus Amanda Ribas. This is a strawweight fight, which is surprising because Mackenzie Dern has 115 pounds in her ass. And I want to say Mackenzie Dern beats her first round submission. What do you think, bud?
I think that Amanda Ribas is probably going to fucking surprise a lot of people. And she's going to get that second round TKO.
Oh, shit. Really?
Yeah, because I think that Mackenzie Dern is gonna be cautious, and I think they're both gonna be cautious. But I think that Mackenzie Dern's not gonna get a takedown or get it to the ground until the second round. But as soon as she does, that's when the ground and pound comes into play, and she's gonna get fucking TKO'd.
Oh, okay. Now I will say this: this is Mackenzie Dern's first fight back from having a child, and it's about 4 months since she had her. So, it might come into play.
And Ribas has been more active lately, obviously.
Right. What you got, Kev?
I'm gonna go with Ribas.
Haha.
I'm gonna say decision.
Okay, so
factoring in the mind games, what Ricky just said. She got child, right? First fight back. Mother, that bond, that whole situation is going to be a fucking factor in the fight. I don't give a shit. There's that drive. The second Dern gets rocked, she's gonna get fucking flustered. She's gonna say, "I got to play it safe." That's why it's going all the distance, right? She's gonna play it safe, but Ribas is gonna pick her apart. And if Ribas just touches her, Dern's gonna be worried about not getting knocked down, not losing in front of her daughter or son, whoever the fuck she had, and she's gonna play that woman card.
Whoever she had has a fat ass.
No, I think
Can't find diapers for that baby.
Oh my.
So
what's going on that kid? I think just that the mind games will come into play, and but then there's the other side, right? What a cowboy do after he had his kid, right? He ripped through people. So, but Dern's she's gonna take a loss. She can take some time to go take care of her kid.
All I'm gonna say, Kevin, is if you pick Ribas, you and me, I'm guessing. I'm not sure, but I think you and me will be the only ones to pick her.
I'm picking Ribas.
The X factor that also comes to play is whether or not Mackenzie Dern will be on weight, because she used to be in the flyweight division. She used to be 125 pounds. Now she's dropping weight.
Yeah, and she
had massive trouble making 125.
No, she's infamously known to not even try. How you gonna come into weigh-ins 7 pounds over? You were almost a whole weight class over.
Right. So I don't know.
Yeah, and obviously
a little bit crazy in her eyes too.
Yeah, but obviously, if she doesn't come in weigh in the correct weight, I'm gonna go the opposite. I'm gonna go with Dern.
So if she comes in overweight, you'll go with Dern?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, she uses all that weight to her advantage. That's why I'm saying Dern.
She's not cutting like everybody else is doing, and that's an advantage,
She'll give up 30% of her purse to get the win. All right. Moving on. We got a change, so you might not know it. but Brock Weaver is out, and he's being replaced by Mike Davis, taking on Thomas Gifford. I don't really know much about Mike Davis, and I know even less about Thomas Gifford. So I'm going to go out on a limb, complete guess, and say Davis wins second round TKO.
Did you see Gifford's hair before you made that decision?
That's Fabio, yo.
Yeah,
So originally I went with Weaver was going to win by decision against Gifford. I just want to put that out there because I think Weaver is a good fighter, and I was pretty excited to see him because I remember him from the Contender Series.
Yeah.
And then Mike Davis, I think that he is a ballsy son of a bitch. I like the way he fought when he fought I want to say Melendez. Fuck. Wait, what the fuck is the guy's name? I got it written right here. Gilbert Burns. That's why I was about to say Melendez.
Okay.
I remember him fighting Burns kind of on short notice, and it was a good fight. He lost, but I like the way he fought. I'm gonna go with first round KO for Davis.
You got Kev.
Oh, and I also think that he's gonna do that because he's taking it short notice, and he doesn't want to have a go into longer, later rounds.
Yeah, I'm gonna go decision for Gifford, but it's gonna be a strong showing for Davis.
Who's gonna win? Gifford on how?
Gifford. Decision.
Okay.
He's got the power of the hair.
Yeah, Fabio. All right, now it's the co-main event of the evening. We got Cub Swanson in a featherweight fight taking on Ice Cream Crone Gracie. Who you got and why, bud?
I got Crone first round sub because Cub Swanson fucking sucks.
Ditto.
Sorry, Cub. I think you sound like a cool person. But you suck. You know what I mean? Like, you suck at fighting.
Sorry, Cub. I think you sound like a cool person. I love that.
If that ain't a Baltimore backhanded compliment, I don't know what it is.
Well, I mean, I'll definitely want to hang out with him and shit, but
my apologies to you.
Back in the club, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, he could probably beat up some scrubs. He's not BJ Penn.
What does BJ Penn come to?
Yeah, a punchline, evidently.
All right, so you got Cub Swanson.
I'm absolutely Cron Gracie. I'm a Gracie family fan. Always loved the Gracies back in the day, and I'd love to see that nostalgia come on back. So I'm gonna go with Cron. I'm gonna say he's choking him out first round.
That's right.
And then his uncle's going to come out and make him tap just to show that the Gracies don't fuck around.
All right. Now we move on to the main event of the evening. We got a strawweight battle. We got the Queen, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, taking on the karate hottie, Michelle Waterson. Who you got and why, bud?
Okay, so I'm just going to kind of re-say what I said to you earlier before we start recording.
Uh-huh.
I was really... I did a lot of debating on this fight, which I originally wasn't going to. I mean, most of the time, it's Joanna's going to win easily against fucking Waterson. She's just quicker. She's better. Everything. But going into this fight, Joanna has had a few shitty matches recently. Her mentality is kind of fucking flawed lately. She just talking about she's the queen of the division. She won't accept responsibility for the loss in any way. It losses in any way, shape, or form. Waterson's on the come up. She's been building herself up. She's been doing great. Momentum going into this is high. And I feel like there's a lot of doubt and not taking responsibility for her losses to where she's not fixing herself. So I'm going to go with Waterson decision, but I feel like it's going to be a hard match for Waterson.
All right. Well, my take is similar to Bud's. Now I noticed that Michelle Watterson is on the come up. She trains with Holly Holm. Um, she's put together a nice win streak, and Joanna, uh, not so much a win streak, but she's not taking any losses. Like, she's not taking them seriously, like Buddy was saying, and she's more interested in like modeling and being out on Instagram and being on this show and that show and representing the UFC over here, representing the UFC over
I
there.
am the boogie woman.
Yeah, I mean, she's just doing all this shit, and she ain't got enough. She ain't got a leg to stand on anymore, and she's looking silly. So I'm saying Watterson takes her, 3rd round submission. What do you got, Kev?
Kevin?
Did you die?
He's frozen.
He's froze. Yeah, all right. Well, sorry we lost Kevin. He's gone. He gone. All right. Well, that's a good way to end that podcast. What do you think?
Yeah, man. Kevin, it was a great having you. Check him out on the Backlog.
Take that. I think she's got it. I think not only is she's gonna clean her up, but she's gonna get back to the way she was. She's got the skill, and as Buddy alluded to, the mind games might get to her, but she's had a few fights to flush those out, and she might be on the outside pulling around a Rousey like, I'm the best, I'm the toughest bitch on the planet, but she's a fighter, and she got to where she was for a reason.
I would love it if she said that.
but my point is, like, she got to where she was with the skill. It wasn't walking around saying I'm the prettiest girl in the world, and like Ricky's saying, Michelle Watterson's got a sweet contract, and win or lose, that girl's gonna be fighting next time, unless her face gets busted up. But I love Michelle Watterson, but you know what? I specifically reached out to her and requested that she be on your podcast. I know that you probably wouldn't have wanted me to do that, but I did, and she didn't reply. So fuck her.
Well, if she listened to anything we said, she probably wouldn't want to.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Because we were like, damn, she's thick as hell. Oh my God.
She seems like a lot of fun. She seems like you could go to an amusement park with her and get on every roller coaster and blah, blah, blah. But you know what? I think Yen Jacek's just she fights like a dude, and she fucks girls' faces up for a living. She just had a couple of tough fights. So,
yeah. So how you got Joanna winning?
I think she'll Watterson's tough. I think it'll be a 3rd round TKO. Ground and pound, just bloody mess.
All right.
Well.
All right. Well, shit, man. It was a pleasure having you on. I'm so glad we got to catch up. And if anybody hasn't known yet, check out Backlog Time and Backlog Podcast. Both one on Twitch and one on wherever you get your podcasts, just like us. So I'd like to thank you for coming on, Kev.
Hey, man, I appreciate being here. I cannot wait to be working with you guys on these innovative new ideas for Twitch. And I'm going to get you both on the gaming podcast as well, talk some video games. I know you've both been playing some over there on Twitch. And so I can't wait to do our little tournament, seeing who's the best at Tekken.
Oh, that's what's up.
I heard Buddy could whip your ass, Rick. I don't know. But Buddy was telling me. He's telling me you think you could beat him. And so I can't wait I'll host that fight, and we'll see.
Look, all I got to say is I let him borrow it so he could get better.
You know what? I can't even deny that happened because that did happen.
I was like, I ain't played the game in forever, and I'm like, yeah, you need to borrow this.
Let him borrow it to get better.
Yeah, it's fucked up. But we're looking for look. I'm looking forward to getting better and whipping your ass eventually.
Jack 7 is my go-to.
Yeah,
I
don't
like,
stand a fucking chance when
and
he gets
I like the bitch that she's like a robot. She got chainsaw arms and she can take her head off and beat you with it.
Oh yeah, she's badass. But you both have been playing some MK11. I bought that. Maybe we'll do a little tournament.
I whip Buddy's ass in. Buddy ain't got a shot in hell.
Are you kidding me?
As soon
he whipped my ass a couple times in a row, and then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I sat up, and then that's when I started whipping his ass. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna actually show him what I got.
He beat me one time out of like 7.
He knows I can whip his ass. That's the funny thing.
Yeah, whatever. We'll figure it out. Look.
Hey, thank you so much, guys, for having me on.
Hell yeah, man.
You guys rock it every week, so keep it up.
You are welcome back anytime, brother. Anytime. And good luck with the Fight Pick Championship. Hope to see you up in the ranks. Maybe one day you'll get champ. Like me. But
we'll see what next week does to your standards there, pal.
Oh yeah. We're gonna see. You know.
No, I told you. Good job on those picks, and buddy, you got a lot of work to do, dude.
I'm in second place.
Yeah, but you're far behind the big man over there. He did tear it up.
10 points. That's easy to come up. That's easy to beat him.
Yeah. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how far away you are. At the end
I'm glad that we didn't have complete the same picks because.
Oh yeah. That means you're gonna fall further behind.
We'll see.
You know, like everybody else, like Alpha in the World Winning Federation. Check him out on Twitch, like Grampy Back.
Oh, and I won $20. I won $20 on that fight, by the way.
I bet on what fight?
I bet Clout9 $20.
Oh yeah, Clout9 on Twitch too. Check him out.
Yeah, he bet on fucking his boy Robert Whittaker. I said, you know what, fuck it, I'll bet you. He said $20. At first I said it's too much, but then I was like, fuck it.
All right, so let's run down who we got in this Fight Pick Championship because we're all about promoting each other. We're all about hearing one another and just basically putting out positive vibes for everyone involved. So we got Lap B, their podcast. You can check them out wherever you get your podcast.
Cheney and Emmanuel.
Then you got Juice with Fighting With Myself podcast. You can check him out basically on MMA Twitter or Instagram and
FWM
wherever podcast wherever podcast you get. And then who else we got? We got Grampy Back. He's
on Twitter.
He's on Twitter
and Twitch.
And Twitch. We got Clout9 who's on Discord and Twitch as well. We got Alpha. I've already said that.
Yeah, and we're already networking the three of us, 3 different sources. We're bringing Alpha on to do a podcast.
Oh yeah, and then we got.
Really? That's awesome.
No, you are.
You just told us. With the.
That ain't a podcast. It's gonna be a TV show.
Oh, TV show.
So, my bad, dude. Oh my god.
That's a big difference.
Right.
You gotta correct me, bro.
Then we got you with Backlog Time and Backlog Pod, and then as always is me and Bud, MMA Marks, baby. That's the whole.
And we're on top, by the way.
That's right, the way we should be. So with that being said, I'm Ricky.
I'm Buddy.
We're out of here.
See ya.
See ya.
End it now.